check. K Beats in the building. What's up, K Beats? How you feeling, man? And we should be live everywhere. Let's go. In the building. Blamers in the building. How y'all feeling today? Welcome in. How you feeling, K Beats? How you feeling today? Y'all welcome in. We are live on TikTok. We are also live on Twitch and YouTube right now as well. If you are not already following those channels, make sure you are. They're all at the link in the bio. If you do want to submit your music, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, and get yourself up on the board. The line starts at 10. It's 15 to skip the 10. 20 to skip the 15, so on and so on. If you are looking for some actionable feedback, if you are looking for tools, if you're looking for value, then this is a great space for it. Toby Goldie's in the building. What's up, Toby? What's up, Sarah? Appreciate you hopping in. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer and producer. It's what I do for a living. It's what I've done for the last 12 plus years. So if you are looking to get into the details and the nuance of your music, this is a great space to do that. We are not here to review it. We're not here to give you a trash or pass, a rating or a poll or anything like that. We are strictly here to give you as much value as possible and as much actionable feedback as we have the capacity to offer. So if you want some tools, you want some value, then definitely tap in. All right, let me see. And then we'll get started with the music. We're only going to be on for about 2 hours today, y'all. About 2 hours. Sarah, appreciate you hopping in. Is it E-Marie? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for hopping in. Yucca's in the building. Collie, what's up? Or Colin, what's up? I'm trying to read through the names and stuff like that too. Appreciate you hopping in. But y'all like up the live, share out the live. As soon as we hit 5K and 20 shares, the music begins. I appreciate y'all hopping in. I'm going to get a couple things set up as we go. Once again, make sure that y'all are following over on Twitch and subscribed on YouTube as well. All of those are linked up there. We are live currently on both of those platforms. So make sure you tap in on Twitch and tap in on YouTube as well. We will be adding a lot more value over on those platforms in the very near future as well. DT's in the building. Scott, what's up? How y'all feeling on this beautiful, Tuesday night? It's a beautiful Tuesday night. How y'all feeling today? Appreciate y'all hopping in. Scott's in the building. And then once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, and get yourself up on the board. Line starts at 10, is 15 to skip, 20 to skip the 15, so on and so on. Proper's in the building. What's up, Proper? DT, good to see you, bro. How you feeling today? Let me get this moved too. Should have all this set up. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta switch. Time we don't have. Allergies, man. It's at night. The allergies get me too. I'm doing pretty good, man. We're just outrageously busy, man. We're getting a whole bunch of stuff set up. Libby and I are working overtime. So, tired, busy, all of the above, but alive and breathing. So I can't really complain, man. Can't really complain. All right, let's. Yay! Hey, thank you, DT. I appreciate you. Sorry, I know I'm missing some of the comments too. I appreciate you. Let me just make sure things are up and running here. Libby, can you just double check that? I think it should be. As far as I can see, all the levels and everything are coming through. Ethan, what's up? Or Sam, appreciate you hopping in as well. That Twitch and YouTube are up. I'm pretty sure they are though, because everything looks good on my end. Just making sure, because it's only my first time getting those running again. So I'm just double checking that everything is where it needs to be. All right, y'all, let's share out the live, like up the live. We'll get started as usual. We get started with the music at 5,000 likes and 20 shares. If you do want to submit your music, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps there. Just follow both of those steps and we'll get you up on the board. Oddball, appreciate you. I see levels coming through, so it should be good. Shia's in the building. What's up, Shia? How you feeling today, man? Good to see you. It's 10 to get on, 15 to skip, 20 to skip to 15, so on and so on. All of the details of the live are at that same link that says Track Talk as well. If you want to read about the details of what we do and why we do it, etc., etc. Yeah, we got a lot of amazing things planned, y'all. A lot of amazing things coming. We're working like crazy to build some additional value and additional concepts within the structure of this live. So I'm super excited about some of the stuff we got coming. We're working like crazy. We're gonna make some cool stuff happen. Rapture, appreciate you hopping in. Keaton, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Y'all keep sharing out the live, keep liking the live. Music starts. What's up, Austin? Twitch is good. Perfect. Then it's the same stream going to both, so it should be cool. We can double check YouTube, but yeah, we are live over on YouTube and Twitch as well. If you want to join us over there, eventually that will become more of its own thing. It'll become more of its own kind of entity as far as like being able to share my screen, be able to showcase things that are happening in the studio, production lives, things like that, and just additional depth and value when it comes to the live that we do here. Super excited about that. Jagger, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. But y'all keep sharing out the live, keep liking up the live. We're gonna keep things moving here in a second. If you want to submit, Go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, and get yourself up on the board. The line starts. Okay, perfect. The mic is good. I mean, I can even double check from my phone. Give me a sec. I can just double check from my phone. Alex, how you feeling today? Justin, how you feeling? Appreciate you hopping in. Let me just double check here. No, yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. That's weird. I'm getting like, I'm hearing like the delay back in it too. Hey, what's up, Alex? I'm doing pretty good. Just hopping on for a couple hours tonight. Spend some time with the family on here. It's good. We're doing good. Okay, so YouTube is set. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Perfect. Eduardo, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Welcome in. Those of you who are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. Perfect. Yeah, I just checked YouTube and the sound's coming in and everything's good. For those of you that are coming in for the first time, y'all, welcome to Track Talk. Jayon, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Welcome to the family. If you have never been here before, these are 15 to 20 minute multiple listen deep dive consultations on the structure of your mix, production, sound design, lyric structure, stuff like that. So if you're looking for value, you're looking for nuance, then this is a great opportunity for you to be here. This is not a review. There's no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. Strictly about getting value. Strictly about diving into the nuance of your music, whether that's the mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric structure, things like that. That's what this live structure is all about. That's what it's all about. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I am a full-time audio engineer and producer. Yo, let's go, Jayon. Hey, I love that, man. Congrats. That's dope, man. That's great exposure. But yeah, my name is Torvik. What's up, Lauren? Appreciate you hopping in, man. Laurent's in the building. I'm a full-time audio engineer and producer. It's what I do for a living. It's what I've done for the last 12, 13 years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So if you do want to get into the nuance and the details of the structure of your music, then this is a great space for that. If you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, follow both of the steps, and we'll get you up on the board. The line starts at 10. It's 15 to skip the 10, 20 to skip the 15, so on and so on. Let's go. I got 2 songs recorded on GarageBand with a $5 mic. Let's go. I love it. So I know my mix is shy. I promise you, there's still stuff you can do. There's still stuff. I've worked with artists. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Mamazino? I've worked with artists with BandLab and Apple headphones. I've worked with people with $13,000, $15,000 production setups and vocal chains and stuff like that. To me, it's if you understand the tools. If you understand the tools, you know the limitations of what you have or lack thereof. You know the limitations that you have, and you understand the language of even the tools at your disposal, whether that's BandLab, whether that's GarageBand or Soundtrap or whatever else might be out there. If you understand the language around it and kind of know how these things are affecting what you do, you can get a pretty, I'm not saying it's gonna be industry standard or something, but you can get a really, really good mix with very simple tools. There's so much that has to do with just the way that you input, just the way that you vocalize, the way that you perform and stuff like that, man. There's a lot you can do, even with a $5 mic. I've been there. Most of the people in here, I've been there before. Time Mass, appreciate you hopping in. DT, as much as I feel weird saying this because I work full time in music, but same. It's like it feels weird. What's up, Darth? Appreciate you hopping in. Exactly, DT. Exactly, man. It's so funny to say because I feel like the same way about me, where I'm like I do music full time, but it's all for other people, whether it's like consulting, mix and master, stuff like that, like it's or even like consultations on the live and whatever. It's like I feel like I don't have time to like be creative myself sometimes, and it's like painful. Like I'm so close to it. I got all the things right here. I'm so close to it, but I can't necessarily do it myself. And so, dude, it's brutal. It's brutal, man. I hate it. All right, let's go. We're going to get some things moving here in a second. Let me get some things updated on the list. We got some people coming in. We're going to start updating some things as you go. Let me see. Let me know whose initials are AL. Shia, got you. Let me get y'all going. We got Shia up on the board. I'm excited to hear what Shia's been working on, man. Super talented. And then whose initials are AL? Let me know who that. I don't want to put people's name in the chat if you don't want me to. Who just sent AL? Who just sent on the PAL? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, board starts at 10. 15 to skip the 10. 20 to skip the 15. We got Shia in the 15 right now. I'm about to get whoever AL is. I'm about to get you up on the board in the 10. We'll get you flowing. Appreciate you hopping in. If you want details on the structure of the live, of course, we talk about it over the course of what we're doing here. But you can also just go to the link up there and we'll get you in the right spot as well. But let me know. BPT, what's up? Cuddy, what's up? No. Yeah. Let me know. ALB, who's that? Let me know. That way I can get you up on the board. I want to get the right names attached to the right people up on the board because I don't see the TikTok name in here. Hairs, what's up? Kevin, appreciate you hopping in. HMRS, what's up? Let me know. I got a 10 on the PAL from the initials. ALBC, who's that? Let me know so I can get you up on the board. That's probably you, right? She is Austin. Is that you? ALBC. I just don't want to say people's names if they don't want me to. Is that you? The 10 on the PAL? Just so I can get the right name up on the board. No? Okay. Oh yeah. There's an L in the name that shows up on PayPal. So I was putting that in there. So I want to make sure I don't say someone's name. So that was you, right? The 10 from the PAL. That should be you. Okay, perfect. So we got Austin with a Y. Yeah, no. I think it's she is. Yeah. I just want to make sure I connected to the right name. Austin with a Y. Let's go. I got you. I appreciate you. All right, Austin with a Y. Ready to go. All right, we're getting moving, y'all. We're going to move. I appreciate it. Okay, I got you in the right spot. You're good. You're ready to go. And I also have your email, so you should be set. I see what's up. Appreciate you hopping in. K-Dub, what's happening? Appreciate y'all being here. Y'all keep liking and sharing out the live. The music begins at 5,000 likes and 20 shares. If you want to submit your music, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, and get yourself up on the board. You'll see 2 steps. Follow both of those steps, and you'll get heard. It's 10 to get on. It's 15 to skip, 20 to skip the 15, so on and so on. If you are looking for actionable feedback, you're looking for a 15 to 20-minute consultation on the structure of your mix, production, sound design, lyric structure, melody formatting, all that kind of stuff. Wherever we can bring value, that is our goal here. If you are looking for that kind of value, you're looking for a really in-depth breakdown, then definitely get yourself up on the board or hang out in the chat for a minute, see what we're all about, and see if it's something that would be valuable for you. For those of you who do not know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer and producer. It's what I do for a living. I'm also an artist, but as far as a career goes, I'm a full-time audio engineer and producer. I'm also a classically trained musician, so the whole structure of this live is to bring as much actionable feedback and as much value as possible. As much value as possible when it comes to building up the structure of your music. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. So for those of you who are looking to get a professional second set of ears on the structure of your mix, production, sound design, lyrics, things like that, that's what this live structure is all about. This is not a review. I'm not here to give you a trash or pass or a rating or a poll. That's just not where there's plenty of spaces that do that. That's not what we're about. If you're really looking for value, you're looking for nuance, you're looking for a detailed breakdown, that's what this live structure is all about. They are, like I said, 15 to 20 minutes a piece, multiple listens through the structure of your song to really get into those details. If you want to submit, like I mentioned before, and I'll mention over the course of the live, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk, and follow both of the steps. We're going to get it flowing here in just a minute. So Austin, I got you. Shia, I got you. You're ready to go. Just a quick reminder as well that we are also live right now over on Twitch and YouTube as well. Even if you stay here on TikTok, it would help us out a lot if you could follow us on and subscribe on those platforms as well. We're going to be doing a lot more in-depth stuff over on those platforms, in addition to just streaming to those different platforms from this same kind of a profile here. So make sure that you are following on Twitch. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. We're live there immediately. We're there right now. Everything that you see here, you'll see over there. And in fact, with just a little bit better camera quality. It's about all we got right now, but there is a lot more coming to those platforms as well that hopefully will bring even additional exposure and value when we get into these really deep dive breakdowns. So we're excited about that, but make sure y'all are following on those platforms, and we're gonna get it going. Shai just got your email, and hopefully I can get Clayton in here. Clayton came in late yesterday. Hopefully he comes in over the time that we're here. Or if someone here has him as a friend on here, if you could invite him in, that'd be great, because he sent in 2 songs late yesterday, and then right when we were already close. So it'd be cool to get him in here because he would actually kick us off. Let me double check a few things, and we'll get it flowing here in a second, y'all. We're already at 2.7K. I need 2.3 thousand more likes, 2.3K more likes, and I need 3 more shares at least before we get started with the music. All right, let me double check this real quick. Jacob, appreciate you hopping in. Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? This is a little bit of a late live for us. So we're gonna go on for about 2 hours today. It's gonna be probably pretty short and sweet, but we're gonna do what we can. Let me double check a few things. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's bring this back. Let's bring this back. All right. Appreciate the likes, man. Appreciate the shares. We are almost there. We're almost there. And then we will definitely, we're going to be live pretty much straight through this next week. So we'll definitely be live again tomorrow as well. Times are a little bit interesting right now. We're going to get to a flow where we can have a bit more of a consistent live schedule coming up in the very near future. That's just interesting with like the holidays and travel and all these other projects and stuff we're trying to build. So I'll probably start posting like on my stories on Instagram, maybe even on TikTok too, just before we go live, so you can have like a 5-minute buffer to get in here and get your music up on the board and stuff like that. But we'll try to come up with a more consistent schedule in the very near future. Let's see. Get this on here. I got your beat, Shia. Let's go. Reactions to there's 20. We need 1.6. What's up, Keith? Appreciate you hopping in. Random, how you feeling today? We need 1.6K. Okay, perfect, DT. I appreciate it, man. It would be dope to get in here because he would kick us off today. I've got 2 demos from him already ready to go from late last night, so that'll be sick. Adam, appreciate you hopping in. How you feeling today? That way we can knock those out. How y'all feeling? That's a decent piano sound. Alicia's Keys, for whatever reason, that's the name of the plugin, has never been been my favorite piano. But it's pretty good sounding. I'm liking it more and more the more that I use it. Let me turn this off, y'all. We're almost there, y'all. 4.3K. We're about ready to get the music started. Once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. We'll get you up on the board there. Let me see. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't quite seem to open up in the velocity. Like, it doesn't get any bigger than that. It just doesn't feel like it quite shines and resonates the more that you dig into it. But it's that's as hard, that's full velocity, and it still feels kind of mellow. Let me try another one. Yeah, it feels like a plugin. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't mind it. I just need to reload the samples from my favorite one because it's a massive library, and for some reason it's not the samples aren't connecting. Yeah, it's not working right now. Nope. Yeah, for some reason it's not working. This one does the job. It's just not my favorite. Let me switch out of it actually. Let me go to another one that I used to use all the time. And then we'll get started with the music here in just a second, y'all. We're about to kick it off. Was it the Ravel or I think it was a Grand Rhapsody. This one I used on the live for a long time. Nervous, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. And then Resolution, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Let me see if this one will. Yeah, I used this one for a long time. You hear how that opens up? I give it some amplitude. It feels like it actually brightens and opens up the more you kind of dig into it. Especially, let me put a little bit of compression on it. I'm going to pull down that high gain just a little bit just to mellow this out. I'm going to lower the formant by about to, let's see, like 20% there. Bring in a little bit. Let's see, bring up a little pedal, bring up a little. And then. That sounds more like a piano to me. A little too much key up noise. That sounds crazy. Or in a little bit so it sounds natural. Less compression. Bring this up. Bring this down. Let me just morph this and we're about ready to go. Homie, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. All right, yo, it's time for the music. So give me a second. Let me just formulate this. That should be good. Bring this up just a tad. Bring the pedal noise down. And then we should be ready for the music. That's better. That sounds more like a real piano to me. That sounds like it's got a little bit more life to it. Sounds nasty. There we go. All right, y'all. All right. It is time for some music. Let me get out of Pro Tools. Let's get over here. All right, y'all. Let's get it going. It is time for the music. We've got Shia up on the board, ready to go. Quick spiel before we get the music started. We got Shia, we got Austin up there. Appreciate y'all being here so much. We're about to kick off the music and start the live. We're only going to be on for about 2 hours today. It's going to be short and sweet. So if you want to get your music up, get them up now because we're not going to be on for very long. If you do want to submit your music for a 15 to 20-minute consultation on the structure of your mix, production, sound design, lyrics, things like that, if you want to go in depth, you want to get into nuance, then definitely go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps. Follow both of those steps, and we'll get you up on the board, ready to go. The board starts at 10. It's 15 to skip the 10 and 20 to skip the 15, so on and so on. Unexpected. What's up? Senko Music is in the building. All right, we're going to kick it off right here. Let's dive in. This is Jerk Reaction. Is that the name? It's a beaty beat. I made some from loops and added in my taste. No real melody yet. Let's get into it. All right. We're playing it. Let's dive in. The music begins now. Let's go. Laurent, got you. Woo! Daniel, what's up? Perfect. What are you working in again? What DAW are you using? A little bit of swing on that shaker. Woo! Hey. Shia? Hey. Love the aesthetic, man. This could go 2 two like very distinct directions for me. I could see this airing on like the biasing on the R&B side, but I could also see this getting like torn up with just a lyrical rapper. Like this could easily be like Jada Kiss, or it could easily be like Chris Brown. You know what I mean? Got you, Lauren. You're up in the 30, ready to go, man. Appreciate you. Woo! Come on, man. Let's go. Show some love. And I just got your email into Lauren. I believe you should be ready to go. Got you. All right, let's dive into it, man. This is Jerk Reaction in D minor, 96 BPM by the family. Shia right here in the chat, man. Y'all show some love to Shia. Great record, man. I already love this is early on, man. This hasn't even been like really balanced. There's no artist on it. This is very early in the stages, and I already just love the feel. I say this all the time. You can always fix mix. You could always improve plugins. You can always get better gear or whatever. But having taste in your music, just knowing what people are going to want to feel, knowing what people want to hear, to me is like the superpower of good music. This is, I think, where taste in sound design comes into play. This is where like having good taste in lyric structures as a songwriter and as someone who works in vocal production and stuff like that comes into play. Just knowing what's going to sound good to me is a superpower. I think there's a lot of people that like know how to use DAWs. They might even be trained in audio engineering. They might have been like a musician for years and years, but they don't know how to mold it into something that just feels good to listen to, no matter what genre, no matter what like emotional structure there is leading up to it. But man, this just feels good. I love the swing. Adding in the acoustic hats, I think, is great. It keeps this feeling like really raw and organic. There's a really natural like acoustic swing to it. It feels raw. It feels organic while still having some like digital processing to it. So let's run it from the top. Let's dig into it a little bit. I already love the direction of this, man. I love that you're really diving in. You've done music for forever, man. I know that. But you're more, at least from my understanding, you're more recent when it comes to like digging into production and building beats for artists and stuff like that too. So I'm thrilled that you're doing this. Thrilled that you're doing this, man, because you already, having heard your voice plenty of times, I already know you got the taste for it. I already know that you have like the intuition for stuff like this, and you are crushing, man. Crushing it. Wubsy's in the building. 2 Trill, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Sounds like a original LFTD, what's up? Of course, man. Thank you for the follow. Here's my I'll tell you kind of what my intuition as we kind of get into the structure of this. Bro, you're crushing it. Like I already love the feel. I already love the sound design, man. You're doing some really cool stuff. Just my intuition. So when I'm kind of listening at this, obviously as a producer and an engineer, but I'm also kind of listening for it on the other side as well. What's up, Wubsy? What's up, Wubsy? I see you over on Twitch, bro. Appreciate you hopping in, man. What I'm kind of listening for at the same time is where does the artist insert themselves in this equation? I hear it. You have an initial drop with the bass and some of the percussion, and then you have a little bit more of an intentional drop where kind of everything comes into play. That's where I would probably introduce like a sub bass or like an 808 in this first moment here. So like initial intro right here. You got your synth bass in there. Keep it open. This is like the intro to the song. Artist is saying something. There's some ad-libs. Or it could even be like a partial hook or something like that. And then here, I would drop. Like, I would go 808 right off the bat there, about 22 seconds in. Just because you've already had some percussive lead up. You've already had like some dynamics that's building just a little bit. And then for me, I would love to hear like the resolve and the resolution of having the 808 kicking right there, because that to me is probably right when an artist is actually starting their verse. I don't think it's like necessary. I don't think you have to do that. But for me, that's what my brain is kind of itching for, to have the whole beat kind of resolve right there and have a lot of energy in the low end. Because to me, that's when if you got a rapper on this, even if it's more melodic, even if it kind of biases towards R&B, but if you have like a rapper on this or something like, that's when they really, really come in. That's when they really start flowing. That's when I feel like you really boost a lot of energy here. And so I want to make sure that like the music matches what's happening with what I anticipate a vocalist would be doing there. Wait, what does it even say? It just says words over there. That sounds crazy. What's going on YouTube right now? Hey. Yeah. Love the hat movement, but the shaker and the hat movement's fantastic. Just a little bit of swing to push it out of the pocket. Absolutely love it, man. Really, really cool texture. Woo! Yeah. What's up, Justin? D minor, right? Woo! Come on, man. These little movements are fantastic, bro. You've got it. You've got the ear for it, man. I can't wait for this stuff to start getting filled out, getting art, whether it's you as an artist, because I already know what you can do vocally, man. You're insane. Whether it's you as an artist or you work with, like, was it your brother or your cousin quite a bit on some of your music as well? I know you've worked with a lot of different people, but I'm excited for you to start to fill out some of these structures, man, because the talent is there. The ear is there. Now it's just about building a record, right? Like, you've got the ear for the production. You understand how to structure things and create, little brother, that's right, creating dynamic range and creating movement and stuff like that. Now it's just going to be, how do you make this a song, right? How do you get an artist on here? How do you structure it? How do you give it dynamic range? Because, man, you've got the skill. You've absolutely got the skill, man. I love the little syncopations you bring in as well. Come on. If you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, and then click on Track Talk. Go to my profile, go to the website, and click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps to submit. Just follow both of those steps. And back it up a little bit. Woo! It would be fun. So I was kind of messing. Let me change my sound design over here just a little bit. If you want to add one element, okay, so one's folded, one is filtered. A little bit of texture. I like it. What's up, Jenna? I like it too, the structure of what you have there on the kick, because it does have some character to it. It's not just dry and strict, right? It has, you get some of the digital processing and the saturation that I'm sure you're looking for, but you also get like this little bit of like acoustic texture. It's not just, it's got this kind of saturated, softer feel to it. So you have something a little bit sharper, something that has a little bit more character to it. The layering of those 2 elements to me works perfectly in this. I think it would be really cool. I'm going to use the same piano that I have here. I think it would be really cool. Let me just toss something on here. I'm not saying this is even going to sound good right now, but it would be really cool to have, thank you, Jenna. Shout out to Libby. Libby designed this. The Paper Planes artwork that Libby designed from scratch. She's super talented. She literally drew all of this. If you've seen Paper Planes, my song, and you've seen the album artwork for that, she designed the whole thing. All right, let's slow down these rates. Let's give it more wow. Let's flutter. Let's saturate it. Let's go space. And then we're going to dig into this. Let's bring this down. We don't need all that. Let's bring this up. Because I want to keep this like retro feel that you have already. Bring this down. Let me see. I'm going to go an octave up too. Woo! Bring down the digital, more space. And let me high pass down a bit. I also love Let me bring this back. I want to bring this back. Oh, that little, right? Is that the melody? That little melody over the top is like a flute or like a mellotron flute kind of sample at the top. That little bit of texture, man. Come on. Right. Come on, that's nasty. That's nasty. That melody right there is so good. Okay, so here's what I think would just be interesting. If you want to add any other textural sound design and stuff like that, would just be like these little... I don't even think that you need it. It's actually a vocal that you sampled. I love it, dude. The texture is killer. I love just that little, like a bell tone. I think you could use something. So this is like just as an example, this is like this is a DX21, basic, like a DX7 kind of a style. Let me drop this reverb on here. This kind of little bit of texture like that. Let me bring this up. Little things like that, like a bell tone, which is what I love about like a DX7 or DX21, which you can't really see, but this is what I'm playing over here. And just like every bar. And let it live. You can change the sound a little bit too. Just enough. Maybe invert up. It's just like just enough texture, or the piano. The piano kind of holds that same space, like where they use kind of like a bell tone. But what I like about it is it gives you, like, this is a very, it's one of the things I love about this. Let me bring it back here. It's one of the things I really love about this mix is it's very warm. It's gritty. There's a lot of texture and character. It's very saturated. I love everything about that sound. What's up, John? I love everything about that sound design, man. It's executed beautifully. And so I think what would be cool is to take this kind of darkness and this really moody aesthetic that has great texture and character, and then throw in just a little bit of bell, just like a little bit of texture at the high end that just breaks it up like every other bar, every other measure. So you just let this run. It's clean. And then leave it. Give it space. It just happens every once in a while. Leave it open. It's like every 4 full measures. Again. That's it. So it's not like it's not taking over the structure of the song. It's not like interrupting your flow. It's not some constant melody that it kind of ingrains itself in your brain. It's something that's really free flowing. Sorry, I'm mixing it. Let's go, John. It's like it's something that you just use as a little texture pot. In the same way that you bring in that vocal sample you were talking about. Let me read that real quick. I sampled it, then dropped the wave file into a plugin called Sky. Oh, Sky Keys. I keep seeing ads for it. I keep seeing ads for Sky Keys, but I haven't dove into it. But it's that little bit of texture for me. And honestly, all I have is the same piano. It's literally the same piano that I've had with RC20 on it. That's the piano. That's RC20. Filter it down, makes it kind of a little bit lo-fi, gives you a little bit of texture on it. That's all I'm doing. RC20 with some processing on it, which I love. I mean, RC20 for me is a fantastic plugin just to have in your arsenal, just to have in your toolbox. It's nice. RC20 is killer. That's a vocal right there. I wonder what okay, let me try one more thing and then we'll move on. Because now you got my wheel spinning. That's a vocal, right? Dude, I love it. See, I'm telling you, man, you've got the taste for it. You've got the ear for it. Let me just toss. I want to hear something and just hear how it would sound that you could potentially use as a layer, which is what I thought it was, which is like a mellotron. I don't know if you've ever used a mellotron, like a real one, or even like the plugin for it. But the best flutes, the best like tape sampled flutes. Let me see. Let's see. It would be here. They're so dry. Let's go. Noisy. But they're so dry because they're sampled. Man, it's so good. It's so good. As like a lower layer. I'm going to keep it dry. Thank you, DMC. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And then we're going to go over here. And let's put some fun stuff on here just so we can kind of hear what I'm envisioning. And we're gonna go. I want. Let me see. Where's it at? Let's see. And then if this is just as an example, I'm going to bring this way down. Where this is just basically tucked in, it's essentially an octave below. Daniel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. It's essentially tucked an octave below the vocal sample that you have. So you get this beautiful vocal sample you already have, and then a like floating flute that plays essentially an octave below that same vocal sample, tucked way into the background. I'm going to bring this back a little bit. I just have chorus and reverb on it to keep it fairly dry. And then you just toss it right underneath the sample. We'll wait for it to come in. Hey. Got you, Daniel. Love the hats, man. Like, let this run 2 measures in and then add the octave. And it says like that extra little bit of texture and like warmth that it brings into the mix to me is just, it's like all just the little attention to detail. Just a little attention to detail. It's like if you let it run 2 measures and then you just start broadening your dynamic range just enough. It's like I could turn that another 4 dB down and it's just a little bit of texture. It's a little bit of life in the background, but it's not like, same thing with the piano, like switching into the piano and having just those little things like that. It's not like it completely changes the dynamic or completely changes the structure of the song, but it does give it quite a bit more like life and movement, and it just has more interesting elements going on. I absolutely love what you're doing. Let me run out the last 20 seconds here, man, but shout out to, it's all about the subtle things to me. All about it's like in the same way you had a beautiful shaker going on, and then you added in some extra steps with the hi-hat with a little bit of swing and some velocity changes on the hi-hat right there, whether it's in a loop or it's something you're doing, those velocity changes and stuff like that. It's that little extra. You could just have a shaker there. The shaker's killer. It's got great swing. It's nice and punchy in the mix, but adding in the layers of having the hat with the shaker just helps wake up the structure of the mix a little bit. It really helps open up the structure of the production. Same thing. It's like, vocal sample, gorgeous. I love what you do with that. I think it's tasteful. I think it's subtle. I think it's brilliantly done. All you have to do is like now, if you're going to do 4 full measures of that, on the last 2 measures, add the octave underneath it with the flute or whatever, something like that to just give it that little extra dynamic range, that little extra push that gives a lot of life to the production structure, because what's already there, man, sounds absolutely killer. Let's get into it. Let's close it out. Melody's addicting, man. It's beautiful. Very well done, man. Back it up. Love the texture, man. Beautiful, man. Y'all give it up on time for the family. Show some love to Saya. Amazing job, man. So you're such a musician at heart, which I think is what's really cool about your music, man, is anytime that I've heard you start to delve into producing for yourself, and even like the self-engineering and stuff that you do, you're so tasteful with what you do. It's so tasteful. It's intentional, man. I absolutely love it, man. You have a great ear for the music as a foundation, which for me is everything. It's not about being the most trained engineer. It's not about being a classically trained musician. There's people that go farther than anybody without any of those tools. You have some of those tools. Like you're a really talented vocalist and musician, and you can tell that that's at the foundation of what you do, because everything that it's like everything's going to fit. It's not about whether you're going to have like cohesive sound design in the structure of your productions. It's just about, hey, are we going to balance this? Are we going to bring in some other layers? Are we going to get a vocal on here and make it a record fully? But man, your skill of just being able to pick up on what is going to feel good in a record is really cool, man. I love to hear it. Absolutely love to hear it, man. Y'all show some love to Shia. That's the family right there, man. I'm excited for you to start getting some vocals on these too. The more that you dig into production, the more I get really excited for you to be like working with vocalists, whether that's your own, your little brothers, or just other vocalists that want to get on what you do. Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. All right, let's keep it going. Once again, if you want to submit your music, go to my profile, click on Track Talk. Go to my profile, click on the website. You'll see Track Talk. Click on that. You'll see two steps to submit. Get yourself up on the board. Of course, I appreciate it. Is it Laurent? Am I saying that correctly, or is it Laurent? I want to make sure that I'm saying your name correctly. I work some magic, and Fix You's getting radio airtime. Let's go. Let's go. Laurent. Okay, I gotta make sure I get it right. All right, so Daniel got you up in the 10 as well. I appreciate you hopping in. Once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps. Follow both of those steps, and we'll get you up on the board. The line starts at 10. It's 15 to skip the 10, 20 to skip the 15. We got Laurent up next. Sliding to an open mic, got to slide. Let's go, man. I love the work you putting in, man. Shout out to Shia. Shout out to Shia, man. That's the family right there. Let's keep these going. If y'all are looking for a 15 to 20 minute breakdown, or you're looking for a consultation on your mix, production, sound design, lyric structure, things like that, that's what this live is all about. We're not reviewing your music. I'm not going to give you a trash or pass or rating or a poll. This is about you getting value, getting actionable feedback, and just getting a professional second set of ears on your music. So if you are looking for a consultation on those elements, and this is a great space to be, I'm not here to trash you or roast you or tear you down just to stroke my own ego. We're here to bring as much value as we have the capacity to. So if you want to submit, profile, website, Track Talk, and we'll get you up there. It's at least 10 to get on the board, 15 to skip the 10, so on and so on. Just a quick reminder as well, we are live over on Twitch as well as on YouTube as well, so make sure you run over there for a second and follow the Twitch channel. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. All of those are linked to my profile as well. That way we can start to build up those platforms and some additional value that are only happening on those platforms as well, just because of the layout. So definitely make sure y'all are tapped in over there if you are not already. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's get into it, man. We've got Laurent right here in the building. I have this off of Lander, so talk to me about, so this is, let me see. Let's see. IMV. That's the name of the song, right? I want to make sure I get the right name up here and everything. So give me a second. By 12 Mavericks, Laurent and Alex Gomes. Does that sound about right? Perfect. And let me see. Perfect, man. Perfect. All right, let's see. Let me like the track. Let me make sure I am following you there. Perfect. Make sure I got all this set up here. Okay, perfect. All right. I know we've talked a little bit, Laurent, just over the course of you being in the live and stuff like that too, but for my sake as well as everyone in the live, talk to me about what you do. Talk to me about who's handling the production on this. Is this, are these 2 tracks? Are they BeatStars? Are y'all producing them yourselves? It looks like Alex Gomes is the producer, so you could talk to me a little bit about that as well. It sounds like you're possibly working closer with someone. Is this self-engineered? Are you going to a studio? Or are you handling the engineering? Stuff like that. Talk to me about some of the details. You and your friend produced it. Beautiful. Love it. So yeah, Laurent and Alex, right? Alex is your friend. I see him as the composer and producer. Beautiful. Simp Shaker in the building. What's up, Simp Shaker? Appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's get into it. And you sing. Perfect. Yeah, and then let me know how it was engineered. Was this at a studio, or was this something that your producer friend Alex handled? Let me know. All right, let's get into it, man. This is IMV by 12 Mavericks, Laurent, and Alex Gomes. Hey, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. I wrote this when collecting my sanity. Already sounds deep, man. Let's dive into it. I'm excited to hear it.
Stand by. Can't you understand? I care about you. You're finishing for mine. Come on. I love you.
Let's go, DT. Multitasking, baby. Appreciate you, DT.
Send me an angel, make the devil in me.
This is your vocal?
Believe my own strength, cause the heart makes me think I need peace.
Nice. Y'all are the real goats. Oh, the real MVPs. I appreciate y'all.
Cried me a river, sunk in the deep. But a devil can't swim, only dream.
Almost like a I'm only human after all. It's that vocal texture. I like it.
I'll tell them the same. It's always the same on repeat. I am the savior from my agony. My shackles still break when I stop giving in to the beast.
That fry is great in your vocal, man.
New doors won't open with old
Yeah. TikTok is definitely ideal on the phone, for sure. For sure. Hey.
My destiny. My destiny. My destiny. Yeah. My destiny.
Powerful voice, man.
Thinking you're gone or nothing's wrong, you'll always finish last. And I'm made by the things that they passed. Times like rain, and when you feel burnt out, for all the pain, just scream and shout. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. I am the savior. From my agony. My shackles still break when I stop giving in to the beast.
Hey.
New doors won't open with old keys.
What's up, Cool Ray? Good to see you, man. How you feeling?
On my destiny. My destiny. It's in my veins, I'm my own hero now. I've got this ace to escape my doubts.
What's your recording process? What are you recording into right now? Do you happen to know like the mic and some of the setup?
You are the savior. You are the savior.
Not you, Daniel.
You are the savior. You are the savior. You are the savior.
Got you, cool. Legends in the building.
You are the savior.
F on a blue spark. Got you.
You are the savior.
You're doing a lot with the little.
Your agony. Your shackles, they'll break when you stop giving in to your fears.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all give it up on time. That is IMV by 12 Mavericks, Laurent and Alex Gomes. Is it Gomes or is it Gomez? It's with an S. I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. But that is Laurent right here in the chat, man. Show some love to the family, man. You have a really unique structure to the song. It's Gomes. Okay, I just want to make sure. Really unique structure to the song, man. You have a great voice. Cool. Thank you for the roses, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the love. Great voice, man. Great texture, great soul. There's a lot of fry in that higher register of your vocal that I think is absolutely beautiful. Very, very well established. I do want to dig into. Yes, I'm here, TikTok. I'm right here. What are you talking about? I do want to dig into some of the vocal processing. I want to get into some of the layering there and some of the amplitude changes in the vocal and ways that we can get that vocal to feel a little bit more polished, a little bit more present, and to hold their own space in the mix. Right now, that vocal is kind of at the whim of the dynamic range of the rest of the elements, right? So if the drums get big and the guitar comes into play, it gets lost in the mix. When it comes down to just a piano, your vocal's super prominent and really clean, right? A lot of that has to do with compression. I know TikTok's like, you better be here. I can sense another camera in the room. But yeah, it's there's a couple things I want to talk about just to get that vocal in a space where it shines in the song, because you have a powerhouse vocal, man. It's really, really well done. Really, really well done. I want to make sure that it holds its space in the mix and that the production has enough like segmenting and control that it's palatable by a consumer, right? I, as a producer, as someone who loves alternative music and stuff like that, I love twists and turns in the production. I love a production that stays interesting and dynamic. If there's not enough of like a grounding element that's kind of consistent in the structure, you start as a consumer, you start to kind of get lost in the song a little bit, right? And we were talking about this a bit yesterday too, but oftentimes as an artist, you kind of have to guide people through the song a little bit, especially on first listen. And as small underground artists with very little exposure, most people listening to our music are first listens, right? The vast majority of people that are hearing your songs and they're coming up on the For You page on TikTok or reels and shorts and stuff like that is their first time. Usually about anywhere from like 80 to like 92% of the people seeing your reels and your TikToks are brand new to that. They're brand new to your profile, brand new to the song. So keep in mind, like how can I guide people through this track a little bit? And if the structure's too loose, they just won't have that pattern and that repetition to lock them in. Now, you do have a hook in here. You do have a consistent lyric structure that you go back to. In between that, there's a lot of ebb and flow in the production that I think if you could just, I like the ideas, I like the changes in drum sound design, I like the vocal range that you go to, I like the power and the emotion that you have in this record. But if you can kind of hone it in a little bit and kind of polish it into something that is, yes, it's spontaneous and it's powerful and it's unique and it's authentic, but there's enough structure and enough pattern to when you go back into these portions of the song, it clicks for people and it gets stuck in their head. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So let's dig into it real quick. But man, you're talented. I mean, you have a great voice. I like the writing. There's some really interesting sound design in here that I can appreciate a lot too. I just want to slightly like mold it and control it so that it's a space that people are going to remember it. Because you could have, one thing I was going to say too is, this is lyric forward music. This is message forward music. We talked to a lot of artists about this over the course of the live too, but if you have message forward music, you need to make sure that everything you're doing on the production side and the structure side points in that direction. You don't want too many things to get in the way of it. Now, if it is aesthetic forward or mood forward or just vibe forward, I think that's kind of a different thing. To me, they live in two separate spaces. Now, you can do both and it can be really powerful when you do. But if it is a bit more lyric forward and message forward, which I feel like the song is hearing what you're doing, I feel like it's message forward. The goal of this song is, yes, that it sounds cool and stuff like that, but it's that people hear what you're saying, that they tap into the emotion of what you're trying to portray, right? That's, to me, that based on what I'm hearing here and seeing here, I'm assuming that's kind of your heart behind the structure. If that is the case, then you just want to make sure that you, yes, created a really cool production structure, but you also take away any distractions for how that comes across, right? So if you have a message forward music, have a cool production structure, but make sure it all points in the direction of clarity and distinction and legibility for your vocals. That's kind of all I would say. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick. And then if y'all want to submit, I got a couple other people coming in here. I'm seeing some emails. If you do want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps. Follow both of those steps, and we'll get you up on the board. It's 10 to get on, 15 to skip, 20 to skip to 15 or 30 if you want to be next, so on and so on. Let's get into it. This is I Am Thee by 12 Mavericks and Laurent. Let's get into it, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much for showing love, man. I appreciate you a lot.
I love you.
I like this kind of like this kind of bit crushed percussion structure here. I like that. I'm a fan. I like it.
Send me an angel.
Okay, here's one small detail. Very, very small detail. From what I'm hearing, I'm pretty sure your piano's not quantized, right? And then I'm not someone who thinks you should quantize it. In fact, the opposite usually. But I don't think the piano's quantized, right? It's not on the grid.
Send me an angel. Make the devil in me believe my own strength, 'cause the heart makes me think I need peace.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. So kind of digging into the details here just a little bit. I don't think that everything needs to be quantized, right? I want to kind of preface it from there. I think if something wants to be natural and organic, beautiful. I'm all for it. From someone who has a studio full of real instruments, and I love real instruments that aren't quantized and stuff like that, I'm a fan. Keep it natural, keep it full. What I will say is that the foundational chord structure of this song is this piano here. Let me play it a little bit more.
Cried me a river, sunk in the deep.
So you have this. Let me see. Yeah, off the D minor, right? So being that it is kind of the, what's up, DeWiser? Good to see you, man. Being that it is like the foundational chord structure of this song, I would at least, so this is usually what I'll do. If I want a more natural feel to the piano, I will take the root notes and quantize those. So just as an example, I might have all these chords here, and you can't really see it because of where the piano was and stuff like that. I might quantize the left hand and get it at least very, very close to the grid. And then the right hand might be a little bit off. Still sounds natural. But you get this little, like a little bit of a trill from the movement on the piano. But I know that like the first notes that hit are right with the kick drum. They're right with the massive 808 that kicks in. So if you can just even have, this is still very natural sounding. Very simple. But even just taking your first note and putting it on the grid and then letting these other notes float away from it keeps at least the foundation of the song, being that the piano's the main chord that you hear. So if it's offbeat with the 808, it's offbeat with the kick, then it feels like a bit unpolished, even though the goal is not like rigid and sterile. You can still have a natural feel and a natural sound while the foundation of the track is in time, right? It's kind of the same thing with the vocals. It's like when I talk about having a transparent tuned vocal and stuff like that, it's not that you don't have plugins on it. It's actually that you have a lot of processing that makes it pure and transparent that you don't see, right? So there's a lot of factors to this, right? But I would get your root notes on your chords and get it locked into the grid or very close to the grid. And then your top notes could float a little bit more, or just quantize the whole thing. The other side to that is the piano, to me, compared to the vocal and the drums and the bass, feels a bit prominent. It feels a bit loud. I would probably have the piano down 2 or 3 dB just to keep it in balance. Right now, compared to the percussion, which is a bigger element in the mix, even compared to the 808, the piano feels bigger than all of it. It feels bigger than your vocal. And I want it to sit kind of right underneath that vocal and let your vocal be at the forefront. So a couple little things there that just from an amplitude standpoint, I would restructure slightly so that your vocal really shines.
Devil can't swim, only dream.
Got you, Katie.
Give me a life that they'll envy.
Appreciate you. Of course.
I'll tell them the same. It's always the same on repeat. I am the savior from my agony. My
perfect, DT, man. I appreciate you so much, man.
Stop giving in to the beast.
I love that movement on the synth.
New doors won't open with old keys. Need to stay focused on.
Most of the balance of the other production elements in there, I can appreciate. I like where they sit. For me, it mainly for me comes down to the piano and where the structure and the vocal. So I'm gonna listen for one other thing in here, and it's just honestly, it's a very simple detail for your vocal. Let me skip forward a little bit.
Just scream and shout.
Nice little like fry in the like a nice little like fry vocal in the background there. I hear it. I like it. Let's go, Laurent.
The pain, just scream and shout.
Where's it coming? A little fry kind of so got like a little pitch to it. I like it. A little kind of like a fry scream in the background. Sounds dope. That's cool. Okay, last thing I'll really say, because so much of the rest of this is stylistic choices, right? It's just decisions you're making on the production structure that if that's what you want to hear, I want you to keep it the kind of the way that it is. Levels and processing is the main thing kind of I want to address to make sure that it feels like it's got a solid structure to it. So last little thing that I'll say for your vocal is your vocal does float around the mix a little bit amplitude-wise. I would tighten up your we talk about this a lot, but I would tighten up your compression structure just a little bit. It almost, I don't know if it's uncompressed. It almost sounds uncompressed. It almost sounds like it doesn't have any compression on there. If you do have some, it's extremely, extremely subtle, very, very lightly targeted to your loudest points. I'm assuming it's either very, very, very subtle or it's not really compressed much at all. It's not really tuned at all, anything like that. Am I correct in hearing that? It might have some EQ on it, maybe a little bit of reverb every once in a while or something like that. But it sounds, I was going to say very, very, very light. The result of that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm a fan of really natural vocal processing, but if you're going to have very dynamic movement, you will also have to deal with your vocal just getting lost. So as soon as the drums and the two basses in there and some guitar that comes into play and some strings and then the big piano, once all of those elements come into play, your vocal dives in the mix, right? So a little bit of what I'm looking for, I'll showcase this 100 times live, but it's like even on my vocal right here, I have two compressors on my vocal that are hitting fairly hard, not super hard, but I'm getting probably 4 or 5 dB on my first compressor and probably anywhere from like 4 to 6 dB on my second compressor, and I have them targeting very specific things. What this allows me to do, having this back-to-back compressor right here, is I can talk really, really quiet and basically whisper and have nothing but a vocal fry, and I can also yell really loud and oh, do like your whole song right there and go really, really loud, and it's not clipping, it's not peaking, it's not oversaturated at the top end, and I can talk really, really quiet, and it brings up the low-level information. It's super controlled, right? My vocal's not, it has more energy at the top, and it has more life to it, and you can tell that I'm singing louder and higher and stuff like that, but I can also sing in a much lower register, much simpler, and it still brings up that low-level information. What this does is it brings up the quiet stuff in my vocal, controls the top end of my vocal, and then I can raise the volume of all of that and do a makeup gain on my compression, raise the volume of all of that, and this tight dynamic range of a vocal gets punched through the mix. It will sit on top of all your pianos, it'll sit on top of the production, it'll punch through the mix in a really consistent way. So even when you go to a lower octave and do, 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 do. You can sing quiet and it still sounds kind of punchy and loud, and do, and you can sing loud and it'll still cut through beautifully while controlling that high end, right? Controlling the amplitude at the top of the mix. So I would encourage you to, on one hand, if you have one compressor and that's all you want, tighten up that dynamic range just a little bit. And push it forward, or add another compressor to help some additional control over that vocal so you get a little bit more support. Oh, perfect, Daniel. I got you, man. Let me save you right now. Let me see. We're at 15. I got you. Let me save it to my list right now since I'm thinking about it. I appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you for your patience, man. Or for your patience. I appreciate it. Let me get you on my 15 right here. So you're already set and saved. Daniel Moon, right? Perfect. Daniel, I got you. Daniel Moon. All right, Daniel, already got you on my list. Your 15 is already saved to my list. So literally, we'll be live tomorrow for a minute as well, for probably a good chunk of hours tomorrow. So tap in tomorrow, the day after, anytime. But we'll be here for the long term. So tap in anytime you have the capacity to. Just let me know you're here. I'll throw you straight back up on the board, man. I got you. I appreciate you so much. I already got you on the list, set to go. All right, let me get back into this. Let me get back into this track real quick, and let me get this. Hold on one sec. I also want to make sure I got this set up here. All right, perfect. So that's a big one for me. That's a big one for me, Laurent. Attend's not closed right now. It's not closed right now. I'm going to clear out. So Daniel's going to be open here. And then Laurent. So this is the current board here. Daniel's already saved. Laurent's done. So this is the current board right here. 10 on, 15 closed, but the 10 is closing in 8 minutes. It's almost 9:30, so the 10 closes in 8 minutes. All right, let's get it. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. Current line is 10 on, 15 skips that, 30 is next. We got cool on the 25, so 30 is next. So when you hear that, you have that high vocal at the top right there. You hear how it falls way back in the mix, because my assumption is you probably pulled off the microphone a little bit, right, to hit the high note without it clipping, but your dynamic range falls back too, right, because the compressor isn't controlling that dynamic range and squishing it back together, right? It's got to kind of pull you back to the mic. So I hear you fall off the dynamic range, and I want to keep that as consistent as possible, right? So that'd be one thing I would definitely target. Let me get in the last 30 seconds here, man. But I love this. I mean, it's a really interesting song structure. I just want to make sure that the production is balanced in a way that everything works together well, right? So you don't have cool elements that are diving in the mix because the piano overtakes them all, or that the piano's so prominent it feels bigger than the drums. And then your vocal, I want it consistent and polished in the middle of the mix, man. But you're talented, man. Your writing is good. Your vocal ability, I mean, you're a powerhouse vocal. You've got a really, really strong vocal, man. I really like what you do. I just want to get all of these kind of peripheral details structured in a way that feels really tight, man. Yeah, fun fact, I got a lion roar in there because my mother named the lion. Let's go. I like it. Laurent, man, you're talented. I like it a lot, man. That's cool. I really like these crush drums. These like big crush drums in here. Those are cool.
You are the savior. You are the savior. From your
and even like right here, because the piano's not gridded, right? But just because the piano itself isn't locked into the structure right there, because of that, your vocal feels like it's coming off a little bit, probably because you're listening. I'm assuming the piano came first. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming the piano came first, and because it's not on the grid, your vocal has to find the grid as opposed to being able to just like listen to your vocal with a click track and know exactly when stuff is coming in. So your piano falls off the grid a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So your piano falls off the grid a little bit, and then your vocal, you have to kind of make up when to come in, so it doesn't quite mesh, right? It doesn't quite line up. Again, I don't mind raw and organic, but I still want structure. I still want things to be done in a way that it's palatable and feels somewhat polished, right? So I would definitely get parts of that piano, like we talked about early on, parts of the piano up on the grid. That way you can line some things up, record your vocals with a click, even if it's really soft, so you can get that grid, you can get everything lined up the way you want it to, so it feels really, really clean, and then drop your piano right onto that, so it feels really well structured. Because you can hear when it transitions there that the timing's off a bit. Right here.
You are the savior.
I think it's, it's before that, a couple measures, I think.
You are the savior.
Oh, right there.
From your agony. Your shackles, they'll break when you stop giving in to your fears.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Man, y'all give it up one time for Laurent. Give it up one time for Laurent. That song is called I Am Thee by 12 Mavericks. Laurent and Alex Gomes, man. Shout out to the family. Make sure that y'all are following Laurent, not only here on TikTok. Make sure that you're following them on Spotify. Make sure that you are, like the track, add the track to your playlist. Go stream. If you like what you heard, go stream the song. Go run up those numbers, but show some love, man. There's a lot of really creative details here. For me, it's all about building structure, right? It's taking all of the creativity, taking all the cool vocal elements, taking unique sound design and putting it into some sort of a structure that still feels authentic and creative and spontaneous and emotional, right? It feels real, it feels raw. And then still putting it in some kind of a structure that's palatable by people, right? That there's enough of a grounding element to the song that people can relax when they hear it and just listen to the lyrics. If people feel like they're working, there's a time and place for this, right? So this is not a rule, some engineering rule or something like that. There's a time and place for craziness, right? But if people are working to listen to your song where they can't quite find the beat, they can't quite find the key, or they don't really know where they're at in the song. Am I in a verse or a hook, or kind of where am I at? How do I learn it? If you're working to listen to it, I can promise you that you won't see your quality reflected in the numbers. It won't be as memorable for people, and they'll move past it because it was just harder to get into. It's harder to remember what was happening. If you can create some structure, if you can create some consistency, and then of course some polished things on the production and the mix, you're going to be way better off, man, because you got the skill. You got the talent, you got the voice for it, you got the writing for it. It's just polishing it up a little bit. Y'all, show some love to Laurent one more time. Let's keep it going. Shane, let's go's in the building. What's up, Shane? Appreciate you hopping in. All right, y'all, if you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps. Follow both of those steps, and we'll get you on the board. The 10 line closes in 3 minutes. So if you want the 10 line, you got 3 minutes to get yourself up there. It's 10 to get on the board, 15 to skip the 10, 20 to skip the 15 or 30 if you want to be next. Right now, 30 is the top of the board with Cool Ray in the building. We got an amazing track coming from Cool Ray here. I'm excited to dig into it. But if you are, I feel like I'm losing my voice. If you have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. These are 15 to 20-minute consultations on the structure of your mix, production, sound design, whatever would give you the most value and serve you as an artist, producer, engineer. That's what we're here for. If you want some tools, you want some actionable feedback, you want some real advice, this is a great space for it. I am a full-time audio engineer and producer. It's what I do for a living. It's what I've done for 12 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So if you want nuance, you want details, you want a genuine professional second set of ears on your music, then that's what this format is all about. I'm not here to review it. I'm not here to trash or pass it or give you a rating or a pull. I'm here to give value in any capacity that we have. So this is Cool, Do You Proud featuring Sunny D Lower. Let me know some details. Let's go, Testament. I love to hear it, man. I absolutely love to hear it. Cool. Give me some details on this, man. Let me know what we're listening to. And let me know if I've heard this before. I know you've done some work with Sunny, so I want to see if it's something that we've heard before and it's a new version of it. Also, just a quick reminder to hop over to Twitch and YouTube as well. We are live on Twitch right now. We're live on YouTube as well. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube and make sure that you are following on Twitch. There's a whole lot more value that's going to be coming to those platforms as well. Things like being able to have multiple angles here in the studio with other cameras, showcasing the synths, the drums, being able to see my screen when we're talking about frequencies and like structuring your de-essing for your vocal. If it's something you're struggling with, being able to literally show you exactly what I'm doing on my screen is something that's only going to be available over on Twitch and YouTube. We're going to continue to go here. We're going to continue to go live here on TikTok as long as we have the capacity to, but you are going to get more value on those other platforms as well. So definitely make sure that you are on Twitch and YouTube as well. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, in UA. Yeah, 100% if you want to. If you want to send in, let me see, 9:30. Let's go. So 10 is close, so it's 15 on right now. 15 on, 20 to skip, 25 to skip the 20, so on. And so I've been tweaking this one for a few weeks. Okay, cool. It might be, I think it might be blocking some of your comments. Cool. So hopefully not. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember the sample.
Cool. This for you, mama. Yeah. Done everything, but do you proud? I was lost until I found you. Lift me up, can't let you down. Now we said one day that I'd come around to blame the world, to hide my doubts.
I think I heard an early version of this.
Never amount, but you had faith, she had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd come around. Ain't it funny, single mothers usually twice the man. When half the battle always giving a damn. Cause you can't buy love, that's supply and demand. But having skin in the game, how you stay on brand. Ain't a place or a present could replace your presence. Need you to add those lessons through our adolescence. Since I count on you, now I count my blessings. I hope you save their receipts as I return on your investment. Took a trip in a Tesla, had to catch a few charges. Now the whip's so big, I don't know where to park it. Quite the parallel to taking a couple losses. I was sitting in the cell, just trusting in the process. She ain't falter. And made moves like San Andreas. A student loan to debt I'm never repaying. Now the world that I'm facing with the masculine. Because I had to fit the bill when she knew what it meant. Done everything, but do you proud? I was lost until I found you. Lift me up, can't let you down.
Like the high octave over that.
One day that I'd come around to blame the world, to hide my doubts. As a man, I might never amount, but you had faith, she had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd come around.
You gave me more love than you knew I'd ever receive. Dead beat, dead lie, but
Sunny
you chose
D, right?
to believe we would be fine without him. I was never in need. Stay prayed, stay paid, yeah, your mantra, your creed. And them late night tears turn to water and seeds. 9 to 5 wasn't cutting, pockets steadily bleed. So you invest in the hustle, occupation, the streets. You was eating with the mob, said don't follow your lead. In the room with Naomi, wish you follow your dreams. Nana crying at the altar, you the one on your knees. Yeah, they labeled you a felon, but you striving for queen. No chocha in your blood, but your motto is cream. And I'm marking down the days till Chelada is free. Till the bar slide back and you finally seen. With a hand on your brow, cause the sun got a gleam. No more bench or the court, just parlay with the team. Rest your wings on the branch of your family tree.
Beautiful mix on the
never
vocals.
strayed from the shade of your leaves. And your rep never rust, cause it's staying with me. These the tears of your firstborn, sincerely D.
Done everything, but do you proud? I was lost until I found you. Lift me up, can't let you down. Now we said one day that I'd come around to blame the world, to hide my doubts. As a man, I might never
DT, I don't know, man.
But you had faith, she had no doubt.
seeing it.
Now
I
we
hate
said
that.
one day that I'd come around.
Drop it on Twitch or YouTube, and I got you. I have it pulled up over there. Hey, bye, DT. Love you so much, bro. Love you so much. I was gonna say, drop it on YouTube. That you can say whatever you want over there. Man, show some love to the family. Show some love to the family, man. That is cool. Ray in the chat right here. Hey, Sage, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Cool Ray in the building, man. So talented, man. Lyrical structure is absolutely fantastic. Mix on the vocals is gorgeous. Hey, love you too, bro. See you soon, man. See you soon. I appreciate you hopping in. Good luck on your live too, man. TikTok's annoying, man. TikTok's annoying. If something's not coming in on TikTok, drop it on YouTube or Twitch and we'll get it over there. Y'all, give it up on time for the family, man. That is Cool Ray. The song is called Do You Proud featuring Sunny D. This song is ready to ship, man. This song is ready to... I'm going to listen for something on the last hook, just really briefly. This, to me, is ready to ship, man. This is ready to go out, man. It's mixed beautifully. It's punchy. It's open. The vocals are mixed very well. It feels controlled. It still feels dynamic. Sunny's vocals, fantastic on this track, man. Very well done. It's a good compliment to some of the softness in your hook structure and then the energy in your verses, man. It really feels locked in, man. And then bringing in that rasp and the tension in Sunny's vocal, it's a great contrast between your two vocal structures. Let's get into it, man. This is beautiful. Pull my whole project together. You got an album you're working on, man? Talk to me. Let's go. Let's run it back from the top. Yeah, this feels ready to go, man. I'm gonna listen for a transition on the last hook. I think it's a non-issue, but just because it's what my ears do. But let's listen to it. Let's run it back from the top. But this is shipped. It's ready to go. Album coming. What are you looking at? 10 to 12 songs. Spring 25. What are we talking? Testament. Got you. Appreciate you, man. Shooting for February. Beautifully done. Let's go. I love it, dude. My expectation is that for many artists, the 2025 is going to be album year. I know so many people. I mean, there's been a wave. I'm hearing a lot of people. I'm hearing Russ talk about this as an independent artist that did week. There's like tons of stuff. I hear even Russ talking about like albums, like just people are. There's like a massive, everyone wanted records. They wanted artistry. They wanted, this whole cohesive storytelling, that they were doing in these massive records and these massive albums and two sides and stuff like that. And then it was singles, baby, for like 5 years straight, 5 to 7 years straight. It was single going crazy. You know what I mean? Like just blasting singles, just every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it was. And then it's kind of coming around to the other side again where people are kind of tired. They're kind of tired of the massive instillment of single music just being pumped out there. And they're kind of like, man, I want to hear artistry. I want to hear a record. I want to hear like a story. I want to relate to the artist that I'm following and listening to and stuff like that. So I feel like I think it's a time for some albums. I'm already gonna start getting my feet wet for something I've been wanting to. I haven't put out an album in 4.5 years since I put out an album, and I'm ready. I'm itching for it. I just have not had time. I have not had energy. That's what I'm looking for in this new year. So I'm excited you're putting out an album. I already know a whole bunch of other people that are working on albums. They're working on stories. They're working on lyricism, artistry, like getting great quality productions and stuff like that. So that makes me hype, man, to see you moving in that direction. I'm a fan of the single. Keep pumping out singles, do waterfall releases and all that great stuff. But I also know that I think a lot of people want to hear a story. They want to hear good artistry. And sometimes the single culture is just to pump out as much music as possible to get exposure, and it doesn't always work. People would rather get a product once. 100%. And I think that culture changes over time, right? I think there was a time where the access to music was so it's a cycle, right? Like everything. It's like everything in life. It's a cycle, right? Where it was very difficult to get projects done, right? For like most of music's existence, their barrier to entry was very high, right? To be able to get studio time, get a decent microphone, get whatever, like it was difficult to make music, and then like be able to hire the people that had the expertise to make it good. It was very difficult to create music. So for a long time, you wouldn't get records that often. Just because it was so difficult to get good quality music. Now with BandLab and SoundCloud and whatever, like with the last 10 years, it's so easy. There's AI mastering services, so someone could not even have that great of a mix and they just throw through something sounds halfway. I don't think it sounds that great, but it sounds halfway decent, and they'll just pump a whole bunch of music or just get really cheap mixes and stuff like that, pumping out music, right? So for the last 10 years, there's been an incredible volume of music that's being released, and it's gotten so crazy that it's like it's so incredibly saturated with singles and constant releases, and everybody's got an EP every 2 weeks and stuff like that, that I think that there's a little bit of burnout from just like the quick fix stuff, right? There's a little bit of burnout from just like, oh yeah, I've released 300 songs this year, and I'm like, okay, but are they good? Are they well thought out? Are they even like good storytelling? Are they good? Is there a decent lyric structure? Is it relatable? Is the music interesting at all? Or is it just the same? Am I hearing the same 2-track from the same YouTube producer that everybody's leasing from? You know what I mean? Like that massive pump out of music happened for like the last 10 years. And I think it's kind of getting to the other side of that, where because the barrier of entry is so low, the really, really intentional, great music will start to rise to the top again. Just because when everything is the same down here, it's going to make that much more of a difference when someone actually comes out with decent lyrics, a creative production structure, an interesting storytelling, and a cohesive project that means something to them and to their audience. I think we are on the verge of a pendulum swing the other direction, which makes me very, very, for someone who values lyrics, values song structure, and values intention in music, I think it's a great thing. Anyone can make music, but the good are going to rise to the top, even independently. Yep, I think so. I think it's like a 10-year cycle. It's like a 10-year cycle. And I think that as much as I am very, very grateful that everybody has an opportunity to do stuff, it does, hold on. See the paradigm shifts once again. Yeah, like as much as I appreciate access and what it offers to everybody to be able to express themselves creatively, it's, you just don't want cheap product. You know what I mean? There's a market for every niche, even the bad ones. Yeah, and then the bad part of that is so subjective, right? And there's a whole lot of things, right? There's people that like the relatability of certain underground structures, right? Like there's a lot of people that like the relatability of talking about, someone who went super viral off of BeatStars. They'll be like, dude, this guy got 1 billion. This guy got a billion streams off of BeatStars or something like that. And they'll use that as like their North Star. So you have this entire like market for people who will kind of use a couple people as a North Star. Same thing happens on TikTok. They're like, dude, Nick D went viral, and Russ and Connor Price went viral just posting their songs all of the time. So everybody kind of tries to do that. And you build this like subcontext under like a couple North Stars that aren't necessarily what's the best thing for each individual artist. So the most creative thing for each individual artist. So a whole bunch of people just following, as much as I appreciate what Nick D's done and value like his input on what he's done as an independent artist is crazy. You get a lot of people that they're like, no, music is just a business. I don't care about the art. I'm just going to try to make money in music. And they still don't make money in music. And you just get a bunch of sterile music. You know what I mean? So like if you just follow the North Star of like, hey, I can make it on BandLab. So you get a bunch of lazy artists that even though they're on BandLab, they're just being lazy with their music, thinking that they could probably pop off, and they go crazy, and they're wondering why we have a bunch of really bad, like shitty BandLab mixes and stuff like that, because no one's even putting in effort. They're just hoping, hey, they did it, maybe mine will happen too. Or you get a bunch of people just trying to do really bad skits and really bad content just because Nick D went viral doing it, instead of doing, dude, who are you? Who are you? What are you good at? What's your charisma? What's your personality? What's your skill set as an artist or a producer or an engineer or as a musician? What's like what makes you who you are, and how can you replicate that idea on your own as opposed to just following the North Star? Anyways, I'm in the weeds. I like getting in the weeds. Fiona, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Anyways, I think it's important to look at what people do. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Look at what people do. Look at what people do. Like it's what Nick D did is powerful. What Russ did is powerful. What Connor Price has done is powerful. What so many of these artists has done is really, really powerful. I think you have to look at those things and find yourself in it instead of just replicating it. Because like you said, like there's a version of success for everybody. And I think people start focusing on the version of success, and they don't really focus on like how they input themselves into that equation. They just look at like, okay, someone made it on BandLab. I don't need to upgrade my mic. Someone made it on BandLab. I never need a better mic. I'll just use my Apple headphones. And then they wonder why like they're not doing well. You know what I mean? Dirk's in the building. What's up, Dirk? Man, Brand. I am talking. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. This she's fun over here. Hey, I appreciate you, Don, man. I appreciate it. Facts. All right, let's get into the structure here real quick. Let's get into the structure really quick. And then Gav, got you. Got you. I never said that. It's funny how the live's literally called Track Talk. I never said BandLab artists were trash. I never said that. All right, let's get into it. Let me back up this initial in here. Yeah. Track talking, we're talking tracks. What? I never said BandLab artists were trash. I actually, literally, I say this probably multiple times over the entire course of this live. Not to even really address that too much because I want to get back into this track. But I know people, I say this all the time. I know people that go to $1 million studios and record with $30,000 vocal chains that are lazy and sterile and put no effort into the structure of their music. None. They're lazy. They're just like, they think because they record with 251 that they're going to be amazing. That I'm gonna blow up. I got a mix from Tory Lane's engineer. I could care less who you got a mix from. I know people that are super, super lazy with what they do, thinking that just because they got with this person, they got this person on their song, they were engineered at the studio, that they're gonna blow up. I also know people that are passionate, they're hungry, they are so incredibly driven to make something of themselves, and all they have the capacity to do is record with Apple headphones and BandLab in their car. And I love hearing from those artists. I love working with those artists because they're hungry. They're willing to learn. They're willing to grow. They're willing to express themselves in a way that's unique and passionate and stuff like that. To me, it's about intention. It's about intention and it's about effort. It's about work ethic. You know what I mean? I know people that work their ass off on BandLab. I know people that are lazy at the top. But yeah, there's a whole lot of discrepancy in that. All right. Let's get into it. Let's run it back, man. Shout out to Cool, man. This song's killer. Let's get into it.
Cool. This for you, mama. Yeah. Done everything, but do you proud?
100%.
I was lost until I found you. Lift me up, can't let you down. Now we said one day that I'd come around to blame the world, to hide my doubts.
I'm assuming that Manbrand has never been here before, man. Yeah, stick around for a second and see what we're about, man. 100%. Yeah, same place you submitted, Gav. Same place you submitted. There's an email right there. You're saying people lazy, but if I send my song in here, people will probably say it's trash. I don't know what that means. For one, that's not even what this live is. It's not. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, dude, I would love to have you sit in on a couple songs and kind of chill in the just chill in the live structure, man. This is not reviews. This is not what this is about at all. I'm not here trashing anybody. I'm not here roasting anybody. It's like that's not what this is about at all, man. At all. That's I know that's 90% of TikTok lives. I know it is. I know that's what like 90% of it is here. This is strictly a value-based live. This is strictly a place for people to like improve on their craft. All styles, all genres are, like I said, we got people in here on BandLab. We got people in here. I mean, I know as a fact, Cool Ray's vocal chain is about $20,000. I know, what goes into a lot of these people's music, these people that have been in the community for a while, but this is not a place to get trashed. This is not a roast live. This is not a review. This is nothing like that. So I know people come in already, and I'm not saying you are, but people come in already kind of defensive because they submitted their music to a trash artist who's reviewing music, who's not even good at what they do, doesn't even know what they're talking about, and then they told you your music was trash and that you're lazy and stuff like that. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing here at all. I'm a full-time audio engineer and producer. It's what I do for a living. I'm a classically trained musician. The whole structure of this live is to bring value, to offer tools, to find ways that we can improve on energy and polish and structuring your mix and stuff like that. There's no ratings. You're never going to see a poll. Yeah, you're never going to see a poll in the chat. You're never going to see ratings. There's no trash or pass. There's nothing like that. It's not what we're doing here at all. So I just know it is, yeah, these are like 15 to 20 minute long form consultations on the structure of your music. These are not reviews, nothing like that. So I know people get confused and they come in already kind of defensive just because they think that that's the structure. They think that that's the structure. So they're already like, dude, you better not come at me with trash just because I make underground rap and I like it distorted and I like my 808 clipping. I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. This is all about structure. It's all about quality. It's all about getting into the nuance of your music. I want to understand you as an artist, what you want out of your music, and how can we get you to that pace. That's what this is all about. All right, let's dive in. Let's keep it moving.
As a man, I might never amount, but you had faith, she had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd come around. Ain't it funny, single mothers usually twice the man. When half the battle always giving a damn. Cause you can't buy love, that's supply and demand. But having skin in the game, how you stay on brand.
And then I don't know if it let me just double check real quick. I saw the comment. I just want to make sure it was addressed. If it wasn't, Oh yeah, Austin. Sorry, I just want to make sure. I don't know if I saw if it was commented on or not. Yeah, if you have to leave for any reason at all, you will never miss out on your breakdown. You'll never ever miss out on your breakdown. So if you got to eat, sleep, work, or anything like that, or I get off at the end of the live and you haven't been heard yet, I'll always make sure to save your credit. We already had Daniel up on the board. He had to go. I saved his credit to the list that I have over here. What's up, Kason? So I have a detailed list of everybody's names and credit that's left up on the board. So if you ever have to leave and you haven't been heard yet, you never have to worry about missing out on it or getting heard without you being here. I'll always save it for you. Always. We'll be live again tomorrow as well. We'll be live pretty much, I'm assuming pretty much every day over the next coming week. So we'll be on. All you got to do, whether it's tomorrow, a week from now, whatever it may be, next time you have the capacity to hop in, just let me know that you're here. I'll pull you straight from the list, put you right back on the board. No worries at all.
A place or a present could replace your presence. Need you to add those lessons through our adolescence. Since I count on you, now I count my blessings. I hope you save their receipts as I return on your investment. Took a trip in a Tesla, had to catch a few charges. Now the whip's so big, I don't know where to park it. Quite the parallel to taking a couple losses. I was sitting in a cell, just trusting in the process. She ain't falter. And made moves like San Andreas. A student loan to debt I'm never repaying. Now the world that I'm facing with the masculine, because I had to fit the bill when she knew what it meant. Done everything but do you proud. I was lost until I found you. Lift me
What's up, Val?
Can't let
What's
you
up? What's
down.
up?
Now we said one day that I'd come around to blame the world, to hide my doubts. As a man, I might never amount, but you had faith, you had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd come
You gave
around.
me more love than you knew I'd ever receive. Dead beat, dead lie, but you chose to believe we would be fine without him. I was never in need. Stay prayed, stay
Hey,
paid.
good to see you too,
your
Val.
mantra, your creed.
Doing good.
And them late night tears turn to water and seas. 9 to 5 wasn't cutting, pockets steadily bleed. So you invest in the hustle, occupation, the streets. You was eating with the mob, said don't follow your lead. In the room with Naomi.
This is a really good example of in and outs and accent vocals in here. Got you, Gav. Let me see. I got you. Boom, boom, boom. And I just got the email in, I believe, as well. You should be good to go. Yeah, right now we're in the 25. We got Testament and Gav in the 15, and we got Austin and Katie in the 10. That's the line as of right now. Man, crazy. I want to back it up just a little bit. The crazy lyric structure, but I want to point out, even though this artist is very well established, like I said, phenomenal vocal chain, great studio. It's being engineered, as you can hear, engineered very well, beautiful, very well structured. I got no complaints. It's very well done. But I want to point out what's happening too that I think everyone can learn from. So if you are an underground independent artist and you want to learn from people that are operating at a high level and doing very well when it comes to structuring their music and their mixes, this is a great example of it. One of the first telltale signs of a more amateur mix on in and outs and accent vocals and stuff like that is how much amplitude they have. What happens if your accent vocals are very prominent? There's a time and place for it, but if they're very prominent, what it does is it gives and takes away too much energy in the mix. So when those accent vocals come in, the whole mix wakes up. They're wide. They're usually pushed all the way out, right? They're wide. They're super loud. They got a big accent to the vocal. And then when they're not there, that center mono vocal, the main lead vocal, feels like weak. It feels like it doesn't have as much energy to it. So when it comes back and collapses to mono, you don't feel like the mix has any more life or openness anymore. The trick is just open enough, right? You can hear there's little accents. They're very subtle on the outside. You have a left and the right double track of this vocal that just accents the vocal. It gives it a little bit of openness in the stereo field. I feel like a proud mentor now because I tell Sunny the accents layering technique. Beautiful, cool. Crush it. It is crushed on the execution and crushed on the mix as well. Very well done. There's just enough energy offered in the mix that you hear the little bit of a boost in energy. You hear the openness in the stereo field, and then the energy leaves. But it hasn't given so much energy to the mix that when it's not there, it feels weak. It's just subtle. It's a little pop of color in the outside of the mix. Beautifully done. That's exactly what you want to hear. Exactly what you want to hear.
Me wish you follow your dreams. Nana crying at the altar, you the one on your knees. Yeah, they labeled you a felon, but you striving for queen. No chocha in your blood, but your motto is cream. And I'm marking down the days till Chilada is free. Till the bars slide back and you finally seen. With a hand on your brow, cause the sun got a gleam. No more bench or the court, just parlay with the team. Rest your wings on the branch of your family tree. See the fruit never strayed from the shade of your leaves. And your rep never rust, cause it's staying with me. These the tears of your firstborn, sincerely D.
Hey, have a good one, Casey. Appreciate you.
But do you proud? I was lost.
Hey, thank you for the donuts, man.
You lift me up, can't let you down. Now we said one day that
You hear the same thing happening in the vocal track here. Hey, thank Kason. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it a lot. Akusa, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. You hear the same thing present in Cool's vocal as well. You hear that same little accent on the outside, and I also hear what sounds like an octave shift of your original vocal, is what I'm assuming, right? So you get a formant shift that's high on Cool's vocal over the top end that gives it another layer at the same time as well.
Come around to blame the world, to hide
Yeah,
my
well, thank you for the
doubts.
love. I appreciate it.
As a man, I might never amount, but you had faith, you had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd come
I appreciate
around.
it. Is it high layer in the hook? Okay, got you. Okay, I want to hear one transition really quick. It's just from Sonny to your vocal. That's what I
Go
want
to
to hear.
court, just parlay with the team. Rest your wings on the branch of your family tree. See the fruit never strayed from the shade of your leaves. And your rep never rust, cause it's staying with me. These the tears of your firstborn, sincerely D.
Done everything, but do you proud? I was lost
Yeah.
until I
Great structure, great movement on the bass. Yeah, this is killer, man. Yeah, ship it, Cool. Ready to go, man. Ready to go, ready to go.
found. You lift me up, can't let
Put it on the
you down.
shelf for the
Now we
record.
said one day that I'd come around to blame.
Great balance on the production. You get just enough like meat and presence out of the bass, but it's still like punchy and open and transient from like the snare and the hats. Like it's just simple and clean enough, man, but it fills out beautifully with a little vocal sample in the background. I hear a little high piano melody on the right side too. There's just enough filler. Just enough filler. Well, Sonny ran his verse over 4 bars, 20 instead of 16.
The world
It moved. It moved,
to
man.
hide my doubts. As a man, I might never amount, but you had faith, you had no doubt. Now we said one day that I'd
Worth it.
come around.
Drop Tality, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. What's up, Chatty Lads? Good to see you, man. 808 hits. Because you already had the beat established, right? The beat was already established, so you had to kind of restructure what you were doing. So shifted the hook placement and had to re-record the third hook because the positioning was different. Because you already had the drop. It's been crazy today, man. It's been beautiful. Yeah, you already had the beat established, so you had to, if he went over 4 bars, you had to probably reduce the structure of your beat or chop something up to push it a little bit farther, right? Hey, thank you for the heart, man. I appreciate it. Beautiful structure, man. Beautiful structure. Y'all give it up on time for the family. If you like what you hear, you definitely need to go to Spotify, to whatever DSP you happen to use, and stream Cool Ray. Cool Ray is the family, man. He's an absolutely incredible artist, incredible lyricist. You can go hear some more of what he does, man. He's been doing some phenomenal stuff with his music. So go stream Cool on all platforms, man. He's an OG. He's been here from the beginning with a little less staccato. It's a great contrast because you get a little bit, so much of a different texture with Sonny's vocals. The contrast between y'all's is beautiful, not only in like texture and character and tone and stuff like that, but also in just the way that you're rapping, the way that you're moving. It sounds great, dude. Honestly, man, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Everybody can kind of learn from the structure of that, man, the structure of the mix and the structure of the lyricism, man. It's fantastic. Y'all, give it up on time for Cool. That's the family right there. Go stream Cool on all platforms, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for hopping in, man. Thank you for showing love. Crazy work, man. I can't wait for this album, man. February can't come. Laura, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. February or March can't come soon enough, man. I've heard some of the songs from the record. I feel like some of the songs from the record, and it's gonna be nuts, man. You're a lyrical genius. I mean, if you really dig it, like they sound good. Like you listen. Whoops, that's messed up. You listen to the song and they just sound good on the surface. Like they sound good. They're mixed well. It's a great vocal chain, man. Y'all are both executing well, but it takes a couple listens to get into Cool's lyrics. It takes a couple, which is good. It takes a couple listens to get into like the doubles and triples in there that are like, wait, what did you just say? And how does it mean 4 different things? Like Cool really has lyrics like that, and it takes some adapting to really get into the structure and understand some of the things that he's saying, which I think is phenomenal. You don't hear a lot of that anymore. I was gonna say there always is. It takes a couple listens to really be like, oh, a light bulb goes off, and you're like, oh, you meant that and that and that, and somehow it tied into the line about masculine or something, you know what I mean? Like the masculine and the masculine, and like what in the world's going on? There's like all these intricate details in there. I love it, dude. It's killer. It's absolutely killer. Y'all, show some love. Let's keep it going. Let me see where we're at. All right, we got Testament in the building. If you want to submit, go to my profile, go to the website, click on Track Talk. You'll see 2 steps. Follow them, and we'll get you up there. The line starts at 20 right now. It's 25 to skip. Right now, we got Testament and Gav in the 15. We got Austin and Katie in the 10. If you want to skip, of course, you can go straight to the front with 20, or you can always add to what you have if you want to go a little bit faster and push yourself forward. Let's get into it. And just a quick reminder, that we are also live right now on Twitch and YouTube. At my profile, you can find the links to our Twitch channel. Make sure you follow over there. It would help us out a ton. Also, make sure that you subscribe to, what's up, Novocaine? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube as well. There's 2 YouTube channels that you see there. Of course, it would help a lot if you subscribe to both, but we are live on Obsidian Key. Testament, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for the love. Let's get into it. We got Testament right here. Still very early. We made some adjustments from the last track. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Still very early. Wanted to show you the changes on this track and see what else it may need before we hit production. Beautiful. Added the piano chords and some choir. Wasn't able to get the female harmonies and stuff in there yet. Not enough tracks on Ableton. Let's go. All right, this is World Gone Mad. I heard an early demo of this yesterday. It's just got a couple improvements today. Let's dig into it. Is it still working on it? What's up, Toby? Welcome back, man. Let's see. Load. There we go. Oh yeah, I already like the man. Half a second into the song, I already like the piano better.
In this game of life, you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay 10 toes down on your faith. You understand? Through Christ we will be saved. Let's rise up. Come on. Hey.
World's got mad, but I'm standing on truth. Christ is my rock, got nothing to lose. Faith on fire, can't be moved by the lies. I'm repping my savior till the day that I die. This world's gone mad, but the king's coming back. Stay ready, stay focused, keep walking the path. Yeah. Hey, this world's gone mad, but I'm standing on truth. Christ is my rock, got nothing to lose. They selling and sin like a sheep on a shelf. Worshiping idols, only thinking of self. Politicians speak, but they just for the wealth. Meanwhile, this earth here's cry for help. Christ is my rock, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
Though the word is so foreign, and pain is all we see, we'll rise up.
Progression makes all the difference, man. How it creates such a different structure. So different.
False prophets rise to deceiving the weak.
It makes this feel like its own energy now. I love it.
Don't get caught up in the lies they feed. Kingdoms fall, his love remains. Morning and night, I praise his name. Light in the darkness, breaking the chains. Christ the Redeemer, forever he reigns. Turn to the Savior, he's all you need. Yeah, this world will fade, but his words the blade. The truth, your shield, and his image you have made.
Way better.
This world's gone mad, man, it's
Way
falling
better.
apart, but I'm holding on tight to his love in my heart. Christ is the answer to light in the way. Christ is the answer to light in the way. Keep on singing and praising his name every day.
Though the word is so foreign, and pain is all we see, we'll rise up. We'll be set free, bringing hope to the hopeless in a broken world.
I'm excited for this to get to production, like fully produced. Yeah. Honestly. Because this isn't even like the main production. It's like the early stages to get it there. And I'm excited for this. It's still gonna be mixed. It's still gonna be fully produced. I can't wait. Let's go. Yo, give it up on time for Testament. Let's dig into it. Let's dive into it, man. Yeah, largely this already is going to go through some phases of production and mix and stuff like that. So I kind of want to just turn our direction to what sound design I think would benefit that and stuff like that. But the structure is there. So you've already got the structure of the hook. Man, the change in piano from a like sampling standpoint and a VST standpoint, totally different. It sounds way better. It's way more transient. It has so much more life to it. The change in progression for the hook, to me, gives it structure. Now it feels like this song can really move and it can flow, and you could have a really emotional outro with just the strings and the vocal as a hook, and it live in its own space, and have a hard hitting verse with crazy 808s and stuff like that. I love when like I even just have like a little idea, and then I hear it again. I'm like, dude, that worked. It worked. I surprised myself even though I'm like, oh, that actually worked really well. Yay! I'm so glad. It totally changes the structure and the format of it. I love it. Let's get into it. Let's talk sound design a little bit. Let's talk structure a little bit. We've already said some of this a little bit, but I would get some really hard hitting drums in there, like a little tighter clap instead of a snare like that. The kick structure and the snare structure for that is what is like typically like a Roland 808 style kick and snare, which are just really soft. It's like classic 90s R&B, and it can work. It can absolutely work in rap. It can absolutely, yeah, perfect. It can absolutely work in rap. You can make it work, but it is just softer sounding. It doesn't have as much impact, as much saturation, and as much energy. So I would just, as you look in the direction of the producer working with it, get something punchy, get something meaty, get something that has a lot of presence to it, so it can really, really have the energy that you want it to. All right, let's dig into it. Let's dive in. Come on. Let me download it real quick because it's gonna keep pausing. Give me a sec. Boom. There we go. There we go. Always love Val. Always, always. Yeah, 100%. What's up, Drew? So if let's say it's like a full 16 bar in the verse or something like that, I would keep the first 8 fairly open. So here's what I would do. A couple this actually isn't fully produced and mixed yet. So this is some like scratch tracks. So these drums will probably be replaced by the producer that's going to work on it, stuff like that. So there's going to be a couple things that aren't even produced yet. These are kind of like scratch tracks and ideas, and then a producer is going to take it and run with it. So that's the idea is already there. The structure is already there. So here's what I would do if this was like my production. I would take this. So it has that like structure already, right? And kind of in the mids there, and I like it. So here's what I would do. What's up, Carrie? Appreciate you hopping in. Let me back it up a little bit. Let me hear this kind of initial. Here's what I would do. Okay, so two things that I think would help with this. Keep this here. I would get a low octave underneath the piano, right? So right now it's just it's just that, right? That kind of middle right there. I would have, in order for it, like you're talking about, fill out the verse a little bit more, I would have 2 octaves underneath that. Way down here. So not even here. I would have, let it ring. I wonder if you even have no, you don't have an octave lower. That cat right there. So that you have a little bit of support underneath that progression that keeps some energy in the mix, almost like a pad would, without having to have a bunch of extra instruments. That would be one thing. Even just having just that little energy right there and not lifting it staccato will help fill it out a little bit more. Just that right there. Different drum sound design will help fill it out a little bit more too. The other thing is in the background, you have the piano doing this. Let me hear it. Dun, 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 dun. Something like that, right? Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I would, since you already have, just as an example, you already have this stuff, you already have a low octave, you already have this piano carrying the melody here. I would trade the high melody. I would trade that high melody probably for a bell or something like that. So over the top of the mix, instead of having like 2 or 3 layers of piano, and you're not filling out a lot more other sound design, you can give a low octave to the piano, give it some weight, give it some presence, and at the top end of the mix, change that to like a bell or something like that. Something that's kind of like dark and moody, like a church bell almost. something that's like a little bit more ethereal. It's not as strict as like a dry piano like that. That to me will help not only take the place of another piano in the mix, but it'll also help feel like there's more like more variety of sound design. You know what I mean? So where it's like you got a heavy 808 to start it out. You got killer drums, got a low octave in the piano with the melody, and then you also have a higher melody with a different instrument. In this case, I do think like a bell or a vibraphone or something would be the way that I would go with it. If you can have some changes and layers in that space, I do think that it'll fill out the sound a little bit more and make it sound a little bit more interesting. I would do that exactly for the first 8 bars. Low octave on the piano and melody, bells on the top end with a heavy 808 and some really punchy drums, right? First eight bars is where I would keep that. Now, if you're going to do a full 16 and you do another 8, then I would switch up the sound design a little bit. I would add either stabs with the strings or some kind of a synth to kind of fill out the mids a little bit more so that it stays interesting. If it's the same all the way through, that's where it's going to start to feel like this is like a run-on sentence, right? Even though it's cool and there's great energy, if it's too much of the same, it'll just get monotonous, right? So after 8 bars, I would introduce one element to take the dynamics up a little bit before you get to the hook. Let's hear it. Let me start the verse again. So like right here. So like 42 seconds is kind of the start of the next 8 bars right in there. So I would have one new element there. Like it could be as simple as just like one new element, some kind of a synth or a string or something like that fills in. You know, one option if you want to I know you want to keep it cinematic. So let me look at it from that. Let me look at it from that perspective. So one option that could be cool would be to either add a harmony to your melody. What's a Maddie? Appreciate you hopping in. Either add a harmony to your melody, or you could do short. Let me see. This is more spizzicato. Or you could bring in a pizzicato, which would be that'll help fill out the mids a little bit. Yeah, there's some staccato strings, and once that gets fully produced, you can bring that to the forefront a little bit. But I think it would be cool to have something in here that fills in a little bit more energy. So let me get back over here. On your B section. So B section here. So now if we imagine some changes in sound design, imagine punchy trap drums in here. Punchy drums with a bunch of saturation and tension to it. Hard-hitting 808 at the start on the G sharp minor. Hard-hitting 808 that just punches you in the chest. And then you got a low octave on the piano with the melody, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, with staccato strings in the background. You got bells over the top, and you got something like that over the top. Now this sound design is just really filled out. Now it feels super interesting, still feels punchy, still feels cinematic. That's what I would look for. You could do whatever melodies you want, but it's like, it's that kind of a texture. You're introducing some warmth. You're introducing a different sound design. So the whole mix doesn't feel like it's sub bass and piano. Because right now it's like drum, sub bass, and piano is all you really hear with a little bit of strings. If you can start to fill out the other sound design, it's going to hit like crazy. Let me get into the hook in the second verse. I'll add the same thing so you can hear it, but that's what I would focus on. That's what I'll focus on. Change the sound to like a bell or something like that over the top for the melody. Keep the piano punchy. Keep the low, get a low octave in the piano at the start so it hits with the 808, and then fill out the sound design at the top. And then it's going to go crazy. All right, last 3 tracks, y'all. So come back to dry here. So back to piano, low octave piano with the melody here, right? Keep it dry again with the bells over the top if you change it. Bells on the top. Hold on. So come back to reset it. It's going to be way more dynamic, man. Way more. Hey. And back in. Have that different texture over the top. Could be different melodies, could be different structure and stuff like that, whatever. Just to get the idea, right? Just to get the idea of like, what would it look like to have another element in there? It could be a different melody, different rhythm and stuff like that. But just like the texture, just have the texture over the top, and to me is going to make that verse feel completely different. And you can do whatever you want to on the hook there. Maybe triple the hook, one double, and 100%. Yeah, I think he said, maybe I just saw it in the email. This still needs, what's up, front room? Good to see you in here. They still need to add layers and stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I think I might have just read it in the email. I might not have said it on the screen, but yeah, they're still going to add some vocal harmonies and stuff like that in there, which I 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, it needs layering, it needs energy, it needs that dynamic range. I would definitely have a low octave. I definitely have probably a double of the vocal, if not even like the third harmony on the hook here. So I probably have the like that high harmony there. Right here. You could have like the, like the fifth harmony over the top or the third, and then like a double outside. And this vocalist has that easy. Yeah, he's got like 16. He's got like 16. Wait, what do you have? 16 tracks or 8 tracks in Ableton Free? Like Ableton Lite. I know it's small. I know you're extremely limited, but this is going to be once these 16 tracks. That's pretty limiting for a real production, right? 2-track is fine, right? You drop a 2-track in there, you got 15 tracks to build layers on, you might be okay. But for a full-fledged production to only be limited to 16 tracks is tough, because I'd probably have 5 tracks of strings, right? Maybe 2 basses, a couple vocals and stuff like that. So this is very limiting. Once this gets shipped off to production, these are scratch tracks. Once it gets sent to production, you'll get a full breakdown of all of this. But I'm excited. This is a great foundation. It's a great foundation. And I would probably do one more hook at the end here too. So just for the sake of giving this song a little bit more structure and a little bit more energy, as soon as this vocal ends here, I would probably go one more time on this vocal. When the instrumentation, like fill out the strings, have the big piano in there, have all of that energy, and then come right back into right here. Bring it down. And even like you could even like start fading it down at the end and stuff like that. Yeah, no drums. I would keep it right where it at. Yeah, bring up the strings, let the piano open up a little bit, give it kind of its own cinematic hook moment at the end of the song. So you get a powerhouse initial verse. You go verse you'll get an intro with the vocals, powerhouse verse, heavy hitting, all the stuff we've talked about. Really nice, clean, clear, stacked, layered hook. Back to a hard hitting verse. Big layered hook, and then down to a vocal hook at the end with like strings and piano and bass underneath it. It's just super cinematic, super orchestral. Take the drums out and just exactly how we have it, honestly. Keep this. And just do like a full hook here with all this big big orchestral elements and stuff there. I think it would be a killer way to close out the song. It would just make it super dynamic, and you want cinematic. To me, that really locks in on the cinematic nature, especially because you still have some like trap drums in there and 808s and stuff like that. It allows you to really dig into that when you need it, but when it comes to the hook, you really like yes, baby, I love it. It allows it to feel way more cinematic, especially at the close of the song. You get this massive wall of synthesis and strings and stuff like that at the end that I think would just be super, super dynamic, man. Limited 16-track Tommy should be your name. 16-track Tommy is gonna be your new nickname. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love to Testament Worship in the chat. I'm excited. The fact that this is a scratch track, the fact that this is so early on in its journey, to me is super inspiring, because this is going to have new drums, new dynamics, layers to the vocals. It's going to have all kinds of new stuff in it once it gets over to your producer. It's going to go crazy. This already has a great foundation, already has great structure. I'm just excited to hear the real thing on it now, because I think the structure's there. I think all the ideas are there. You just got to put in the ideas that you want, ship it off to production, and see what they come up with, man. It's going to be killer. Y'all give it up on time for Testament. Give it up one time to Testament. But for me, Pizzicato over the hook. Pizzicato over the hook. Libby, that'd be crazy. That'd be amazing. That'd be super. That'd be so fun. That'd be so fun. You should. You absolutely should. Yeah, like pizzicato over there. Change the high melody to some kind of a bell or something like that, and then drop a low octave in the piano, and I think you'll be good to go, man. Let's keep it going. We've got Gav in the building. Gav, hop in the chat. I see you right there. You're liking the live. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the likes, the shares, all of y'all. Y'all are amazing. Let's see. We only got 3 more songs, y'all. We got 3 more songs. Of course, anybody can come in and skip. That's just what I have time for. It is already 10:15 where I'm at. So we got our last 3 songs here. It's about an hour left in the live, and then we're gonna close it up. We'll be live again tomorrow. Just as a reminder, right now the top 3 is Gav, Austin, and Katie. In the event that you do not get heard, you will never be listened without your song will never be listened to without you here. I'll always save your credit, no questions asked. So I've got a detailed list of everyone's credit. If you don't get heard, you'll always be saved. Just hop in the next time you have the capacity to. We'll get you straight back up there. No worries at all. If you hold on, but yeah, if you do want to submit, you still can. People can still skip. They can still come in and get themselves up there. But those are the top 3. Whoever the top 3 are will be the last 3 that I'm able to hear. Right now, it's Gav, Austin, and Katie. That can change, but we're gonna start there. All right, let's keep it going. Of course, Testament, man. I'm excited for the variety of music that you're making now, man. You're gonna have like an EP, like a worship EP that's like 15 different styles. It's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. All right, let's get into it. Gav, I see you right there. Let's get it. Let me pull up your track. Let me see. Is that Okay, this is you here. Just Can't Lose. Is that the name of it? Just Can't Lose? What's up, Batty Bat? What's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Just Can't Lose. Is that the name? Go ahead and drop the... Sure, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, we're going to dive into it. Okay, this track is finished, so please be present with it. Yeah, I always love like when people come in. If people ask like, should I send unreleased or released? Both are beneficial right now. Obviously, if a song is unreleased, it's not in distribution, it's not finished, there's a benefit to that, right? Because we can tackle some things before it comes out. There's also a benefit to sending in stuff that's already released because it gives me an idea of what a finished track is to you, right? Like so far, this is what I have in my mixing toolbox, right? Like this is what I have to offer as far as like building the quality of my music. And it kind of shows me exactly where you're already at and where we can improve on your future records, right? So I'm excited to dive into this, man. Let's get into the details. Thank you for being here, man. Welcome to the family. I appreciate you. I'm excited to dig into it a little bit. But both are beneficial, right? If you can already fix stuff, great. If not, it shows me what your capacity and skills are so far and maybe some ways that we can improve on that in the future. So that's really cool too. All right, this is Just Can't Lose by Gav. And you said, I don't see it on the file here. Let me back it up here. Featuring Jay, right? Okay, cool. Go ahead just for, let's get into it. Drop the artist name and the song name in the chat with the feature, just so we can pin that to the top and we can see the details. And then really briefly, let me know where you got the production. Is this a YouTube beat? Is it a BeatStars 2 track? Did you do it yourself? Are you working with someone? Also, I'm assuming this, based on what you're saying, it's self-engineered. I'm assuming that it's self-engineered. If you're going to a studio to track, let me know. Any details are beneficial. All right, let's get into it, man. This is Just Can't Lose by Gav. Exactly, Libby. I completely agree. Let me download this real quick because it's going to load slow. Let me give it a second. Boom. Some glitch. This is Jay. This is Jay right here. Okay, cool. Good vocal versatility. Got like the RJ Payson guitar samples. Yeah. I like the structure. Hey. This is Jay. Got to be, right? Cool. RJ Payson is the one that does the glitchy guitars. It's cool. Oh, I think I know a different producer. Sorry. I know who you're talking about. Not Cashmere, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. You talking about Cashmere? Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love, man. Gav in the building featuring Jay. Let's get into it, man. Let me, where'd the file go recently? There we go. Just Can't Lose, man. That was Just Can't Lose by Gav featuring Jay. Let's dig into it, man. Honestly, here's the thing. The foundation of the performance, the energy, the actual like structure that I'm hearing here, fantastic, man. I love the energy. Yeah, Cashmere Cat. It's got great energy. I love the performances. I want to listen for some structural things in the structure of the mix. But man, it's not bad, not bad at all, man. You should be proud of what you're doing, especially you're doing this all yourself. You should be really proud of the work that you're putting in, man. I can tell that there's effort there. I can tell there's a lot of intention there, even just in the stutters and the mix and the production and stuff like that. Crushing, man. Let's get into it. This is Just Can't Lose by Gav. Let's dive in. Yeah, the modern day version of some of that is there's a guitarist. I know because it's like a weird name too, Cashmere Cat. There's a producer now that does a bunch of these guitar samples, and I think it's either done exactly in that style or it's the same guitars that they used to sample in this track. His name's RJ Payson. He makes these glitchy guitar structures that are really cool. I try as hard as getting on. I can't try. That's no problem. It's just killing. It's tough. Alex, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. It's tough, man. Let me see something here too. And you got 10,000 followers. You got some traction. You got a little bit of traction. I know it's. Do you have anything released? Chucky Ellis, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Do you have anything released? I want to see your Spotify if you do. If you have anything at all, or is this going to be one of your first? Kimbo's in the building. What's up, Kimbo? Oh, perfect. I got you, Austin. Yeah, when it gets there, I'll pull it up. I'll make sure I get the right one up there. Whichever song you want. Okay. Country trap. Let's get it. I do actually post on my first one, I think, like a month. Okay, let me see your Spotify. Is it the same name? .gav? .gav, exclamation point. Boom, got you. Got you. Okay. You're not doing bad at all, man. 732 monthlies is not nothing at all. From someone who's had a couple thousand and had nothing on there, like a couple hundred monthlies is not easy to get. I think we look at people that are even like not that crazy. What's up, Caddy? Welcome in. People that like even they're not like major artists, but they have like 200,000. We see that as like the standard, right, of like making a living with your music. As a young like underground artist that doesn't have a ton of exposure yet, hasn't been doing it for very, very long. You only have like one real release on platforms. The fact that you have 700 plus monthly listeners on one release on platforms, honestly, fantastic. Fantastic. You should be super proud. And you can only improve from here. You can only get better at structuring your mixes, better at performing as an artist, crushing it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get discouraged. You got to do it I can't tell you, like, I haven't even had what I would deem as like my moment yet in music when it comes to like obviously I've built a business with my engineering and production and stuff like that. That's what I do. But as far as like my artistry goes, I haven't had like my breakout moment or anything yet. And I've been making music, like producing decently for like 15 years, 17 years. Like some of it just takes time. It takes a lot of patience. It takes time. It takes good content. It takes a lot of ways of building exposure for what you do, man. So man, keep your head up. Keep your head up. If your first song and your first releases are getting good movement already, just keep chipping away. You got 10,000 followers, man. Yep. Just keep going. Keep going. Don't get discouraged. This song might do great. The next one might not do as bad. It might be the 42nd song from here that takes off for you, right? So like, this is what I tell people all the time. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Like, continue to push, continue to grow, continue to make music, and just think things will happen over time. You're good at what you do. The quality's already very, very close. It's there. People will like it. They'll stream it. They already are. Just keep doing it. Just don't put it all in this song. Don't put it all in the next song. Continue to grow. Continue to create. Continue to learn mixing and understand the language around it. I have no doubts you'll make it well, man. I have no doubts. Let me follow you on there too, just to make sure you get a little bit of movement. All right, let's dig into the song. This is Just Can't Lose. Let's get into some of the details of this, man. But yeah, you're already headed in the right direction. Let's keep pushing. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly my advice for so many people. Now, unless there's major quality things you need to adjust and shift, then we can address some of those things. But it's like, if you're already kind of there, you just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just make 50 more of these. 50 more of them, and keep pumping out the content. I'll check out your page later, but keep pumping out content and stuff too. Oh, I like the layering structure. Da da da. You have the da da da. Little harmonies on the outside. Killer. Great vocal structure. Perfect. Here's one of the only things I'll say, and I'll say this more, not even necessarily as a correction of what you have, but more as just something to look for in your music, especially if you're going to be doing like hyper pop structures and glitch pop structures and like really energetic, even like EDM style mixes and stuff like that. Like a mix like this, where there's a lot, it sounds dope, it sounds killer. There's a lot going on, right? When there's a lot going on in the production structure, your vocal really needs to stand out, right? It really needs to punch through. For one, really quick, what are you mixing on? What are you producing on? Like what DAW? That just will tell me. I don't care what DAW it is necessarily, but it'll just tell me what kind of control you have. If it's BandLab versus Pro Tools versus Ableton or FL or something like that. FL Studio, beautiful, love it. I have it as well. It's not really what I use, but I have it, and I've used it plenty of times. So I have some understanding of your capacity there. In my opinion, one of the things that would really just help very simply push your vocal forward and give it more weight in the mix, right? One of the things that I talk about a lot in here is making sure that your vocal can compete in the mix, right? So this happens with music like this in rock quite a bit. So whether it's like hyperpop, EDM, rock, metal, stuff like that, when there's a lot of things happening where you got 17 different synths, or on rock, it's like quad track guitars, blast beats on the drums, on the kick and stuff like that. There's a lot of things happening. If you just have like a lonely vocal that's kind of back in the mix, it just can't compete with all the other. It could sound amazing. You could have a great voice and dope lyrics and a really cool sound. It just can't compete in the mix, right? So a lot of what I would do in a mix like this is just make sure that your vocal has enough structure to it that it can compete in the mix. So one is obviously layers. You have some great layers in there. I love it. The other would be tightening your compression a little bit so that it doesn't fall out of the mix too much. It's really tight, really smooth, and it's punchy, and it fits forward in the mix. Depending on what you have on your vocals right now, I would maybe either tighten up the compression that you have slightly, make it very, very subtle, or add another chain of compression on there. I typically, for a song like this, would probably have 2, if not 3 compressors on the vocal to really control it and punch it through, give it some texture. 2A gray for compression. Okay, I love the 2A. I would double that up. I would have a 76 into a 2A would be one way to do it. On my vocal right now, I have a 76 into a 2A. If I have a style of music like this, like if it's metal, if it's EDM, if it's like hyperpop or something that has a lot of energy in, and you need the vocal to punch through, I would probably have 3 compressors. Now on my vocal chain, I have compression going in to my, so I have an outboard compressor going into my DAW, so I just use 2 in the DAW right now. But when it comes to what you're doing, I would definitely, what I would do if it were me, and this is the way I have my vocal structured right now, I would have a 76 style, so same company, your Universal Audio or CLA, whatever you want to do. I would have a 76 that's really fast. It's really, really fast. The way that I do it, you don't have to do it this way, but it's the way I do it, is I have a 76 that's very fast. So it's fast attack, fast release. And I have my ratio high as well, like 12 to 1, 20 to 1, something like that. It's almost like a limiter, like a really, really fast limiter. What I do is I only use that to capture really sharp transients in the vocal. So if my vocal just pumps up because I just all of a sudden I have more plosive energy, or I sing really loud, or I change my vocal range and there's a sharp transient, it just takes that, controls it, and brings it back into the mix. So my vocal's smoother. It's a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit more controlled. Then I use that LA 2A, and in your case, whatever 2A that you're using, and then I smooth it out. I saturate. That's a little bit slower. It's got a slower release. Like even if you look at the needle, you'll see the release be a little bit slower. It'll kick in, and then it'll have a slower release. It's going to control that vocal a little bit more, saturate it, and punch it through a little bit more. But I would definitely have multiple stages of compression, so you can control it a little bit more, get that vocal really punchy, get it really driving in the mix, and then you can turn it up and slice it through the mix. That's going to help a lot. It's going to help a lot because right now your vocal's really, really smooth, but it's missing the punch aspect of it, right? It's missing that like energy in it that would force it through the mix past all the other elements and get it controlled, right? So I would definitely have another stage of compression. It's going to help you a ton. And again, if it's an easy country record or like a I use a TLM 102 into an Apollo. Oh, perfect. It's a 102 right here. So you have a very, and I have a great interface here. It's not enough. I've had an Apollo before. I have an Arturia interface right now that I love, but essentially the same setup, right? Clean conversion and a 102. This is a Neumann 102 as well. And this isn't one I use for vocals right now, but I've used it for forever for a lot of different vocals, and I love it. And I have all the universal audio two-way stuff that you're talking about. So I kind of know everything that you're talking about, right? So very similar setup as far as the stuff that you're using. Having another stage of compression to me is going to transform the way that your vocal sounds, because right now you're getting all the smoothness that's so great about the two-way. The two-way is so good about just like a nice, smooth, saturated vocal, a little bit of openness to it. It's like it's transparent to in some extent where it's like you barely know what's even there. But with this kind of a music structure, you kind of need to know the compressions there, because you need something to lift your vocal up. You need something to kind of punch it through these really like harsh, crazy, sporadic elements in the mix. If your vocal's too like soft and subdued or too smooth, then that can be a good thing. But that's probably better for just like a strict pop vocal or like a really smooth like country or rock record without a lot of competition. You got a lot of competition in this mix. You definitely want to drive it forward. Get you another compressor on there. Like I said, one before the two-way would help you out a lot. It's exactly like on my vocal right now is a 76 into a two-way. That's my current. Dude, so much. Let me. And here's what's crazy. Let me show this real quick. Let me do. Okay, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Here's what's crazy. This is what I don't think a lot of people will really believe. My vocal right here is in amplitude. In amplitude is the same. It's this gain matched right here. Turn this up. You hear how crazy that is? It is perceived so much louder. But I'm looking at my meters. I'm looking at my amplitude. But what's happening is I'm pushing so much energy up into those limitations and up into that compression that it sounds so much more full. But it's also because this low level information, the quieter parts of my vocal are all pushed forward. They're all punching through the mix. So it's not just if I yell, it's crazy. And if I turn this off, I'm going to turn off both of them. If I yell, it's crazy. That doesn't sound. If I yell, it's crazy. That doesn't sound crazy different when I'm yelling, right? But this low-level information where most of your voices in this range, right? It's all this mid-level stuff, right? It's not all the yells. I'm controlling the yells and stuff like that. It's all this other information in the middle of the mix I need to control and push forward so that your vocal's super, super smooth. And let me do this. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to add one more compressor. Just to show you what we're talking about. Let's just go. I actually really like this silk one. Check. I'm going to punch this forward. Here's one more compressor. It's got a little bit of latency, so it's going to drive me nuts. One more compressor. I'm still getting I'm getting another couple dB of reduction. So now we got 3 compressors on her. You hear that tightness? You hear there's so much punch and drive. And obviously it sounds loud. It sounds way more open, but it's got so much more like drive and energy behind it because there's multiple stages of control. In dynamic range, you hear like kind of the pumping and the grip that it has on the vocals, and then it forces it forward in the mix. Now, for voiceover, what I'm doing for the vast majority of this live, I don't like this, but I'll oftentimes have several compressors on the vocal because yes, it controls levels, but that's also what the fader does. That's what your gain staging does as well. If you just need it louder, turn up the vocal. But if you want like control over the vocal and color on the vocal, that's why I would choose a two-way over a stock one, right? The reason why you can create the effect of an LA two-way with stock plugins, right? I could have like a medium fast attack and a slow release at a 3-to-1 ratio and basically recreate elements of an LA2A, right? But part of what you're getting is this specific color of like an opto compressor or like a FET compressor, like a 76, that just latches onto the signal and crushes it and makes it crunchy and punchy. That's kind of what we're looking for, right? So that's the benefit of using those is the way they color the signal as well. Any compressor can compress a vocal, but there's a specific texture and character that these plugins have that are emulating things that are really powerful, right? Anyways, we're way in the weeds with compression. All that being said, I would add at least one more. At least one more compressor. Oftentimes I'll use 3. Again, on my vocal chain, so I typically, when I'm recording my vocals right now, I have a Neumann M147 that I use, and then I have an outboard chain that I'm running in there, and there's a little bit of compression I do there just for control, and then I do two compressors in the DAW. And that just gives me a whole lot of control. That alone will transform, I'm telling you, man, transform the way that your vocal sounds. Let's keep it going. I gotta move. Because beautiful, smooth vocal. I love your vocal. The lyrics are cool. The energy and the production is great. I just want to hear it punch. I want to hear it drive through the mix a little bit. All I'm missing is this drive in the mix. Same with the second vocal too. I'm assuming you mixed both of them. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Kind of the same thing with both of them. I just want them to punch through. I want them to sit on top of the other elements. Let me skip into the second vocal here real quick. Okay, perfect. Makes sense because they're both bright. They're both clean. They're both really smooth, but neither of them grab you through the mix. And that's kind of the last little detail I want you to have. It's just vocal production. Anytime, Gav. I got you. Woo! Yep. I mean, a big part of it is EQ. I mean, honestly, here's what's dude. Of course, man. That's what I love about this live structure, right? It's really, and I'm not saying this about anyone. I just know it's easy to say I like this or I don't like it, right? It's easy to say like, hey, it's cool. I just want a little more energy out of your vocal, but you don't even know what more energy in the vocal means, right? It's like, yeah, it's like, bro, I just wish your vocal had, a little bit more hype, a little bit more energy, or I just like wish it was louder. But the fix to this isn't loudness, right? The fix to this isn't just turn up your vocal. It'll make it more prominent, but it won't be as controlled, right? And so that's what I love about this structure, where I'm not just going to sit here and give you a rating, but we can really like dig into the vocal and talk about what it is that's happening that's not allowing you to get that fullness. Good compression. Honestly, man, I think what fixes most people vocals is not having Gullfoss and Soothe and Fresh Air and all the newest, fanciest plugins. You can do everything that I'm talking about with stock plugins on FL, stock plugins on Pro Tools, whatever it is. You could even do it on BandLab. The structure that we're talking about is just technique, right? I think if you can really dig into like the foundational stuff, right? Understanding compression and how to chain it and how to get a specific response out of it, bro, you will take your mixing to another level. One quick tip that I would tell you, if you don't feel like you, as you're engineering your vocals and stuff, if you feel like you don't have the ear for what's happening in compression sometimes, just as a practicing thing, go very, very extreme with it. Go very, very extreme with it. So what I would do is I would bring your threshold way, way, way down. Like squash your vocal like crazy, right? Like just overdo the compression and then move your attack and your release. Move your attack and your release and see what happens. Change your ratio. And that way you can dramatically hear, let's go, dude. I love it. Dramatically hear the difference, right? Because if I'm just like compressing my vocal and there's 3 dB of reduction and I'm changing the attack and release, I might not really even be able to hear dramatically what's happening. So I don't know what language to put to it, right? But if I squash that vocal like crazy and move the attack and release around, change my ratios a little bit, you'll hear a dramatic difference in what's going on, right? You'll hear like, oh, that's what my compression's doing. I had no idea. It sounded like it wasn't really doing anything. It just kind of made it louder when I turned up the makeup gain. And that was it. I raised my output, and I guess that's what compression does. It makes it louder, right? Like you said. But you're not really hearing what's happening with the compression. So I would encourage you to like start to understand like the language around the compression and see what's happening, like your attack being how quickly it grabs onto that signal. Does it let the signal come in a little bit with a slow attack and then it grabs it and pulls it down? Or is your attack really fast and as soon as your vocal hits, it's grabbing that vocal and compressing it? How quickly does it release that vocal after it grabs it? If you can start to understand some of the language about that stuff, you will like dude, it'll transform. It'll transform the way that you mix. Because you're not guessing anymore. You're like, I have the LA two-way. I know people love the two-way. I don't even really necessarily know what it's doing, but I know it's something I should have on there. But once you understand the language more and more around it, bro, you'll be so much happier with your mixes. But dude, you'll come alive. All right, let me get into the end of this. Yeah. Same thing on this vocal. It's bright, it's open, but it needs that body, right? So a quick thing is I would just soften the high end a little bit because right now I think you're using the high end to kind of force it over the mix, right? What we want to do is use amplitude and control with your compression to do a little bit more of that. So it's really, really bright at the top in order to help control it. Soften that a little bit and then push the vocal forward with compression. I think you'll be way better off. For both vocals, you'll be killer. Let me run out the last 20 seconds. Y'all, give it up. Hold up. What's going on? Y'all, show some love, man. Show some love, man. That is Gav. If you want to go to platforms, just you look up the right thing. Look up .gav with an exclamation point. .gav with an exclamation point, man. I love your talent, man. You've got good lyric structure. You got good energy in the structure of your vocal. Absolutely. I would cut around the AK on the beat a little bit. Here's what I'll say very, very briefly with this. And yeah, like Libby said too, if y'all are ever interested in longer form, like these are 20-minute consultations here, 15, 20 minutes. So usually about 20 minutes or so. If y'all are ever interested in like 2-hour long, like offline consultations where we get into like really, really deep into what you're doing, we can actually almost like kind of mentor you through a lot of the things that you're doing. You could have your DAW right there ready to go and make adjustments. We do offer consultations that are long form. If you ever are interested in something like that, just shoot me a DM on IG. We can talk about pricing and get into some of those details. But yeah, if you are ever looking into something, yeah, there's going to be some discounts and specials going all through December. So if you're ever interested in something like that, just shoot me a message on IG. I would love to tap in. Then we can get into like 2 hours of getting into your DAW, into your session, making the changes right then, hearing the difference and training through it and stuff like that. If you're ever interested, I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Last little thing I would say, most of the body of your phrasing of your vocal happens between 1 and 3K. Okay, so you're dipping some of the highs of the beat to get the high end of the vocal over the beat. But what happens is the high end of your vocal will just come in a little bit tinny, and then the beat will feel a little bit more mellow through some of the glitches and stuff like that, right? So you just get a bright, brittle vocal over a little bit more of a hollow production. Most strangely enough, what you think is going to help the vocal cut through happens actually between 1,000 hertz and 3,000 hertz. So if I'm ever working on a 2-track, in this case, like a Beat Off BeatStars or YouTube or something like that, they're all 2 tracks. It's a left and right channel. When I'm working with a 2-track, I'll usually carve that space dynamically between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. So even though the high end of the beat and the vocal are still floating together, most of where the body of the vocal, like most of what we hear in the vocal phrasing between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz will cut through, and I'll carve that space in the production so that the vocal sits forward in the mix a little bit more. So if you're having trouble settling the vocal into the production, cut between 1 and 2K, 1 and 3K, kind of in that range right there, not necessarily higher, because you'll just end up with a brighter, brittle vocal and a more mellow beat, as opposed to where most of the body of the vocal actually sits, being between 1 and 3K. Just quick little tip before we move on. All right. Whoops, wrong. Yo, show some love. Show some love, man. I appreciate the follow, man. Shout out to Gav. Let's keep it going. We're going to get into our last couple tracks here really quick. We got Austin in the building. Austin, we made it. I'm glad to dig into this. Let's keep it going and let's dive in. Yes, dude, I love it. I love it, man. And welcome to the family, Gav. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad, man. So glad you're here. I'm excited for you to be a part of the community, man. Whether you're on the board or not, man, I promise you'll learn so much from this community, man. I really appreciate you being here. Play Sunday. Okay, got you. KDB, thank you for the follow as well. I wrote these and singing on everything. No mixing or levels done on anything. Perfect. All right, let me see. And these are our last 2 songs. So I've got... Okay, let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Sunday. Perfect. Got it. And KDB, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. All right, this is Sunday by Austin LaShawn. Give me all the details. If there's anything else beyond what you said there, let's get into it. No, Caddy, that's amazing. Congrats. Beautiful. I love it. I love that generosity. That's amazing.
I think that I'm a sinner. See my daddy, he's a sinner but a winner.
Okay.
So what's bad about it? I don't got too much to say. So I lie to you.
Real quick, I want to back it up and get into the full song. I want to back it up and get into the full song kind of based on what you're saying. So just so I understand, so I can kind of change my lens as to how I listen to the song. Are you wanting to write these records as a songwriter and a lyricist and sell them to artists and pitch them to artists and stuff like that? Or is this going to be mixed eventually as your song? Just so I kind of know how to position, focusing on writing structure, lyricism, stuff like that, or things that'll be worked on later in a mix. So it's a little bit of both? Okay, perfect. Love it. That helps me kind of position my ears a little bit, kind of what I'm listening for. Let me back it up.
You see, I think that I'm a sinner. See, my daddy, he's a sinner, but a winner. So what's bad about it? I don't got too much to say. So I lie to you in a way. And
great
say
voice.
My mama, she's a petty one. I think I got it from a picking fights to have some fun. But what's bad about it? I've just got so much to change.
Hey.
But I'm trying to my own way. I'm just so over it. I was made for this. Who told you I'm a queen? Don't got a care to give to you. I swear don't raise hope for me, pardon. In time you see I've got a problem. Once you should leave with me, I'll solve them. And since we're being straight, I should want you from today. I don't go to church on Sundays, so I walk with
Nice
my
voice.
sins on Monday. And you look like a bad excuse that I might just wanna use today. And yes, there is a drink in me. And yes, I know I'm very mean. But who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell compares to me? I think that I'm a bad one, a little bad bitch. I'm thinking we should have one, a baby savage. Don't you be afraid. I won't say you have to stay.
Cool vibe.
'Cause I think I got some habits. I mean, habits like a black bit, the ones that keep you trapped in. But at the end of the day, you knew how bad I was raised. You should be over it. You wasn't made for this. Who told you you're a queen? Don't got a care to give to you. So please don't lose hope in you, pardon. I tend to make people's hearts harden. It's my mistake, blame me, I'm sorry. But since we're being straight, I should want you from today. I don't go to church on Sundays, so I walk with my sins on Monday.
Good lyric structure.
You look like a bad excuse that I might just wanna use today. And yes, there is a drink in me. And yes, I know I'm very mean. But who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell compares to me? I hope that maybe one day that I might find that safe space to get up off my ass and fuck with you. But I think I like my bad mood and maybe all this attitude a little bit more than I like you. But I got tendencies. But what that mean to me? Oh, don't choke up on what you see mainly, 'cause what I see daily ain't new. 'Cause I don't go to church on Sundays,
Good hook.
so I walk with my sins on Monday. And you look like a bad excuse that I might just wanna use today. And yes, there is a drink in me. And yes, I know I'm very mean. But who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell compares to me?
Let's go. Yeah, I got you. You said it's unmixed, right? You said it's unmixed. Let's go, y'all. Show some love. Hey, Clayton, I got you, man. What's up, man? Welcome in. Yeah, it's unmixed, right? So I understand there's things that are already going to be balanced, so we'll kind of look at it from that perspective. Clayton, appreciate you hopping in, man. Welcome in. Let me know if you have 1 second tonight. You would close this out with one of yours, Clayton, if you want to, or if you want to tap in tomorrow. We'll be on for a long time tomorrow as well. Up to you. I could take one to close us out tonight since you had yours from yesterday, or if you want to wait for them. Got you. Okay. Got you. So let me get Let me go to my list really quick. But y'all show some love really quick. Show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Austin LaShawn. The song is called Sunday. Dude, the structure is amazing. Absolutely love the lyric structure. Really, really great structure when it comes to building out your hooks, man. Great repetition. Great movement all the way through. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Let me update really quick. I'm missing your comments, Libby. The one before that, I think. Hold on. Maybe. What's up, Bex? What's up, Bex? I think the comment before that, it didn't come through. Let me update the board real quick. Let me update Clayton's credit because he sent in late yesterday too. So you still got 20. What's up, Bex? How you feeling today? You still got 20, and then Libby, were you saying still run one more? Is that what you're saying? I think the comment got blocked. Hey, thank you, Bex. I'm doing pretty good. Let me see. So you still got 20, and then we'll get 20 on. Let me know if that's your what you're saying, Libby. That way I make sure. Okay, let's do that. So I'll hold one of Clayton's. So Clayton, I'm gonna get you right here. I got you with that skip, which is perfect because those are closed. So we're gonna run back through Austin's really quick. And then I was just gonna do our last two here, but let's go ahead and run one of Clayton's and then Katie's. We'll run we'll one. I can't talk. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna run one of Clayton's, and then we'll still have your 10 up there. All right, let me dig into the song. But y'all show some love. Yeah. 100%. Clayton was here from yesterday. Yeah. Clayton actually sent in 40. So he sent two 20s yesterday right at the end of the live. And he couldn't we had to hop off the live right there at the end. So I'm going to still just play one of his since he actually sent in yesterday. And then I'll still get to yours at the end of the live. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't normally. It's already 11 where I'm at. So I've got to eat. I've got to hop off and stuff like that. I want to make sure that we can still hopefully get yours heard today because it was originally the last one. So I'm gonna do you that favor. That way we can still get you up on the board here really quick. Let me just update this real quick, and then we'll close it out. And then yeah, Clayton, like I said, you still got one more. Clayton. So we'll run one, and then I'll save the other one for another time. We'll be live tomorrow for a while as well. Let me just double check this real quick. Make sure that is updated. So I got it off my list, and boom. All right, let's dive back into this Austin track really quick. All right, so you're already going to get this mixed and pushed forward and something like that. I'm assuming, right? So let's get into it. I want to dive into some of the details. You're totally good. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to Austin. Amazing voice. I love the energy. I love the aesthetic. You're crushing it.
You see, I think that I'm a sinner. See my daddy, he's a sinner but a winner. So what's bad about it? I don't got too much to say.
Love the syncopation in the vocal. Crazy. It's amazing structure.
So I lie to you in a way. And see, my mama, she's a petty one. I think I got it from a picking fights to have some fun. What's bad about it? I've just got so much to change. But I'm trying to my own way. I'm just so over it. Oh, I wasn't made for this. Who told you I'm a queen? Don't got a care to give to you. I swear don't raise hope.
One thing I'll look for as you dig into this mix a little bit more and kind of get things processed stuff, just because two things happen, right? Obviously, if you're going to push this forward as your own artist song, as your song, you're going to release it yourself, you'll get a balanced mix and everything will open up. That'll be beautiful. If you're going to sell this to an artist, if you want an artist to be able to easily hear themselves in the song, this is where really good quality demos come into play. Angelique, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Really good quality is coming to play. I would, if you were going to sell this to artists, I would still get it mixed as if you were releasing it yourself. Because what happens is if you don't really well balance a track that you're trying to get to other people, it can be that much harder for someone to even picture themselves in the track. I've talked to a lot of people that want to sell their music, and I'll tell you one. I know one artist. I won't say their name because their song just got sold, and I want to protect what they're doing with that as the ghostwriter for those songs. Is they sold a song that was finished. This song was like done, mixed, Matt, crazy talented artist. mixed, mastered, ready to go, sold it to a K-pop group. Or no, I'm sorry, I think it was a K-pop group. Anyways, a big band, a very big band. Sold it to them because the song was finished. It had harmonies, it was structured, it was beautiful. So they could easily be like, oh, we could sing that song and sing those exact harmonies that I can easily hear in the structure of the song. If there's things behind each other and they're not structured and stuff like that, and you want to sell to artists for, let's be honest, a decent check and some good royalties, they need to be able to easily hear themselves in the structure of the song, right? So if there's things that are kind of hidden or that aren't clear, it's just going to be that much harder for someone to be like, wait, what is she saying? What's the structure? And when you're working with major artists or you're working with people that are actually going to be sell this music at a very high level, you want as many barriers removed as possible, as many obstacles to your success removed as possible, right? So if things are muddy or things aren't clear or the lyrics aren't really distinct and stuff like that, don't think that they'll just buy it and fix it themselves. They want to buy a finished record. One great example of this is I just watched a video recently on Ed Sheeran and Benny Blanco writing Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. That song was like a finished, completely written Ed Sheeran song. It was like a done Ed Sheeran song. Next thing you know, we just hear it as a Justin Bieber song on the radio, right? Like that's just what comes out. But that song was like finished, well-structured, perfect by Benny Blanco and Ed Sheeran before Justin Bieber or anyone in his crew ever heard the song, and then it was purchased and taken on as a Justin Bieber record. But the song was already done, right? So that's anyone who wants to get in this space of selling to other people, getting publishing deals as a writer, working as a collaborative writer with people, finish your songs as if they were yours. And honestly, that's the kind of intention and like quality that people will look for, right? Like get this song to the top, like get it finished, and then look at artists that you know could emulate the sound and know their vocal would fit in the song and start reaching out to their people, right? Start, DMing and cold emailing the people in their crew and the people that manage them and that are kind of facilitate the collaborative writing for these artists and stuff like that. But get this song ready to go. One quick thing, just on the quality really quick. You have a great voice. I love what you're doing on the writing. I absolutely love your voice. It's really, really cool. It's got a really cool tone. On your background layers, I would just open those up a little bit. Like I said, I would push the mix forward. On your background vocals that you're using to accent, I would just get them out of the way of the vocal a little bit. That doesn't have to be 100% wide. You have some of those on the hook, and I love it. But even like 20%, 10% on the outside, just get those vocals kind of in their own lane, because right now they kind of sit all behind the vocal. So you kind of hear the harmony and you hear the structure, but it will, because they don't start and end exactly at the same time, it can sound a little bit noisy and a little bit muddy, and just push it open to the outside a little bit. Yeah, perfect. And so, yeah, I would just because I have any like success that I've had in songwriting and collaborative songwriting and stuff like that, and any movement that I've seen other artists get with collaborative songwriting and stuff like that, the songs are like pretty much radio ready on your end. And then if you ever go to Nashville, you ever like talk to artists that write in Nashville and stuff like that, I'll hear demos there that were like amazing record, like perfect demos that were radio ready, and then Dierks Bentley bought it. You know what I mean? Some other artist bought it, and all of a sudden it was their song, but the demo was radio ready. It just never would have gone anywhere with that ready. I live and write in Nashville. Let's go. Shout out. And Clayton, you're in Nashville as well, right? Clayton's a beast. Clayton's a phenomenal artist as well. Anyways, so you want to make sure that you're structuring things really well. Anyways, just as an example, these artists are looking for songs they can put themselves in, right? They're looking for songs where like, what would happen if I just put my voice in that song? And you want some good clarity for them to be able to picture that. So even this the little background vocal right there, I would have that beautiful stack. I mean, all the ideas are there. Austin, you're crushing it. Beautiful stacks, great harmony ideas. I love everything that I hear in there. Gorgeous. Love what it's doing. Those are kind of sat right in the middle. So what happens is when you're doing your lead vocal and then sits right over the top of the song, they all start to kind of overlap right on top of each other, right? So just get those to the outside. 50%, pan them out to the outside so you get this little burst of energy in the stereo field. Lead vocal cuts in nice and clean. All stuff that can easily happen in even like a basic mix structure. But your ideas are awesome, though. I love what you're doing vocals.
See, I've got a problem. Once usually with me, I'll solve them. And since we're being straight, I should warn you from today. I don't go to church on Sundays.
Great hook.
So I walk with my sins on Monday. And you look like a bad excuse that I might just wanna use today.
Great hook.
And yes, there is a drink in me.
push it out 50%, 75%. So I hear a double on the vocal, right? So you have your lead vocal. I hear a double on the outside, left and right. Get some, fill in the gaps a little bit. That'd be my like first easy recommendation, right? You got a bunch of things in the middle. You got a couple things on the outside. Put some at 20%, 50%, 75%. Start to open it up a little bit so the image of the song feels very broad as opposed to narrow and wide and not really anything in between. The production's doing that, but the vocal's not. Get some of those layers kind of filling in those gaps with a little bit wide. So these are at 100%. These are 80, 60, 50%, 20%. And that'll help it feel really broad and really open and really vibrant as opposed to narrow lead vocal with layers and a double on the outside. If you can fill in those gaps, all of a sudden, in the same way with the production's got like kick, snare, and hi-hats right in the middle, but it's got a piano to the right. It's got like a little synth over to the left. It's got some other cymbals that are on the outside that auto pan, like, it's got all this openness to it that makes it feel vibrant. Do the same thing with your vocal so it can compete in the mix with that same kind of energy.
And yes, I know I'm very, but who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell
Love your voice. Voice is awesome.
Yes, who the hell compares to me?
I think that I'm a bad one, a little bad bitch. I'm thinking we should have one, a baby savage. Don't you be afraid. I won't say you have to stay, cause I think I got some habits. I mean habits like a black bit, the ones that keep you trapped in. But at the end of the day, you knew how bad I was raised. You should be over it. You wasn't made for this. Who told you you're a queen? Don't got a cat to give to you. So please don't lose hope in you pardon. I tend to make people's hearts harden. It's my mistake, blame me, I'm sorry. But since we're being straight, I should warn you from today. I don't go to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
So
Hook is goal is super, super catchy. I love the tone of your voice. Great texture. Yeah, killer. This is awesome. Like my biggest encouragement, because it already just needs the mix stuff that you're already going to go through, right? You're already going to get some of that stuff taken care of. It's the structure stuff, the panning and stuff I want to focus on the most, just because that's, to me, is going to make this the most clean and clear and the easiest for an artist to picture themselves in the structure of the song. This is beautiful. Really, really well done.
I woke with my sins on Monday, and you look like a bad excuse that I might just wanna use today. And yes, there is a drink in me.
Beautiful harmonies. Like, come on. So good.
And yes, I know I'm very, but who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell compares to me?
I hope that maybe one day that I
Underline,
might
what's
find
up?
that safe space to get up off my ass and fuck with you. But I think I like my bad mood and maybe all this.
You do have a good, clean vocal structure. It's going to be easy to mix. This is not, help with the harmonies. Beautiful. Sounds awesome. This is not going to be a hard song to mix either. You have a good, clean vocal. It's a raw vocal for the most part, maybe controlled a little bit, but it's a pretty raw vocal structure. It's going to be easy to mix because there's not a ton of noise. They're little mouth noise, stuff like that, little crackles and pops that are easy to take care of. So this is something that's not going to be difficult to tackle on the engineering side. You could get like a, when I talk about engineering, you don't necessarily need to pay $1,000 for like a Grammy winning mix if you don't think that the song is going to be yours and you want to pitch it out. I would get you just a good quality mix. If you're not engineering yourself and you're going to rely on someone else, get a good quality, clean, well-balanced mix. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want clarity, right? Exactly, Caddy. You just want clarity. You want distinction. You want things to be positioned well so it feels open, like I said. But this doesn't when I say like get a great mix on the song and make sure that it's established so people can hear themselves in it, I don't mean necessarily you have to go crazy, right? I think just making sure that things are well balanced and open and clean is what I would look for. And the other thing I would say too is if you want to be a songwriter, if you want to be like a collaborative songwriter, focus on like reaching out to people and getting into, getting into collaborative writing for splits. I have a random song from like 6 years ago, that I did collaborative songwriting. The song has a couple million streams across different platforms. And that song pays me like, I don't know, it's not much, like $20 a month, $20 a month that I get from that song just forever, as long as it keeps getting streams and stuff like that, because I was one of 4 songwriters on a track that I got a publishing deal on 6 years ago, something like that. And that song had some movement to it. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to start getting a little bit more traction as a songwriter as well, do it on your own. Yes. Like make sure that you're writing your own tracks and stuff and get, and sell it to someone else. I'll shoot you a message, Caddy. It's an old song. I don't really mess with it too much anymore. It's an old song. I'll shoot you a message. But anyways, the structure of that is I was one of a couple people on that record that did really well. And so if you can get yourself in that position as well, you're not as reliant on you write a song, hopefully get it to someone, and you're just spending all of your time trying to pitch a couple records to people. You could also just be 5% of this song and 10% of this song and 25% of this song. And you do that literally 500 times a year and get, just a little bit. I got you, Bex. A little bit of texture and a little bit of movement and a little bit of royalties across a whole bunch of different songs. That's how Ryan Tedder makes most of his money. Yes, he's got One Republic, and One Republic is a pretty big touring pop band, alternative pop band, but he makes a massive amount of money, millions and millions of dollars songwriting. I mean, Ryan Tedder wrote Halo by Beyonce. He's making massive amounts of money just on streams from Halo by Beyonce. You know what I mean? So it's not even necessarily that you just write one song and you try to pitch it and get some pay from it. Try to write and collaborate with 1,000 people. And this is like if you're in Nashville, you know this realm, right? You know the culture around this stuff is you got to be a part of 1,000 records and hope that a couple of them do some cool things and you get some percentages off of each of those. That's kind of what I would look for is don't put so much pressure on one song, get it balanced, get it, cleaned up and, structure your vocals in a great way, open up the panning, things like that, get good performances on it, and then do that 1,000 times. And then you have a catalog to pitch. So they might not like this song, but they might like the 70-second song that you made. You know what I mean? And you can really open up your opportunities that way. And it's like, and even in the realm that I wrote with this one song, it was let's look it up. Yeah, it was a really cool opportunity. Love That Remains. Love That Remains. I was the composer on that track, so I helped with the writing the production structure and the composition of it. I was also like one of the music directors for the live performances of it. They hired me as a session musician on the track as well, and then I was one of the 4 people that wrote it. It was called Love That Remains. On YouTube alone, I think it had like 800,000 streams on Spotify, something like that. I don't know. I could check it out. Like 800,000 something plus streams on Spotify, but it had a couple million on YouTube alone. I think it had like 4 or 5, like maybe 3 or 4 million streams. Yeah, 3 or 4 million streams on YouTube because that's what it actually went viral on YouTube on one playlist that it was on. Got like 3 or 4 million streams on there. I think it has like I wrote some of the guitar parts. I wrote the piano parts on it. The piano, I'll be honest, the piano's beautiful on it. I really like it. It's really pretty. But yeah, I wrote the piano parts and I also tracked the piano parts for the record. Then it got like I think it's got like 7 or 800,000 streams on Spotify. So like even though like my music hasn't done a lot, I'm part of my business is having little pieces to all of these other little puzzles that also pay, right? And so that's part of on the songwriting side and on the production side and stuff like that. That's what it's all about, right? It's not just like I hope my one record takes off. I've gotten more exposure and more. That song came with a publishing deal, so I had a songwriting deal with the label that we were under for that song. I got a publishing deal with it. Like I said, I get probably $20 a month, which is not much. $15 to $20 a month in royalties from that song because it got millions of streams, and I was one of the writers on the song. So the goal is, Austin, not relying on that one song, but doing that 1,000 times, right? Doing that 1,000 times. That way, if a couple of those songs pop up, you're making a couple grand a month in songwriting because you have so many different realms of exposure for your music, right? So that's what I'll encourage you to do. Finish this song, balance it, get things kind of where they need to be, and then do it 100 more times. And you're as talented as you are, Austin, as talented as you are, I have no doubts that you'll do what you need to do. Bro, how do you get a publishing deal? I mean, a lot of it to 100% Austin. Yeah. And market yourself in that realm too. I got you, Clayton. Market yourself in that realm as well. So like I would focus on writing and like when you reach out to people, when you promote yourself, market yourself as a writer, and then you'll get yourself in that realm. How I got the publishing deal, I knew. So when I co-wrote with these people, I knew one of the people at the label. So one of the people that was one of the major artists of that label. I had a connection with them, and they said like, "Hey, I like your songwriting. We need another writer on this song." So we did a group writing session with 4 people. I was one of 4 people, so I get 25% of the mechanical. And I also get 25% of the publishing. So if it got placed, I get 25% of the feed there. The sync fee there. And if it got placed, I would also get, if it got radio spin and stuff like that, I also got 25% of the publishing there. But it just came because the song was already going to take off. They knew they were going to push for radio play. So there's probably, what's cool about this is, so I got in the songwriting deal. They decided that they wanted to push it. Yeah, super, super niche. And I'd done a couple other writing, outside of the deal that I got with this one, a couple other writing dynamics that we had where we worked on songwriting together. This particular one, we knew it was a good song, so they pushed for it. They pushed for it like crazy. So they called me up and said, hey, we're going to push the song. So there's actually probably 6 different versions of the song out there. There's like an acoustic version, there's a live version, there's a studio version, there's like a couple studio versions. And since I own 25% of the publishing on that, with the publishing deal that I have, and 25% of the mechanical, I get paid on all of those different versions. So another artist that wanted to put out a version of the song could still put out a version of the song. I still get 25% of it. Anyways, but that publishing deal just came because they knew they were going to push this record and they wanted to make sure that everybody was taken care of. So they brought me into the deal with the label and gave me 25% of the record, and I started songwriting with them in that environment. And then from there, the songwriting deal was part of it. But then they also hired me for probably 6 or 7 other songs to track synths and track keys for them. So I played piano and synth and was a composer for a couple of the other records on this. It was like a group of 2 EPs. There's like a 5-track EP and a 7-track EP, and I did probably half of the compositions and probably half of, not a little bit more of the keys tracking and synth tracking and stuff like that. But getting the publishing deal, honestly, it largely just comes down to people need to want what you have, right? Like that's kind of like, you got to make yourself desirable. And Clayton, you're doing all the right stuff. You're doing all the right stuff. And you just got to kind of find the right people that are connected to the right people. And then eventually someone's like, hey, we actually really, really like your songwriting. Instead of you just blowing up and doing your thing, we just want to like pay you to come like write for us. You know what I mean? Like we want to bring you into a publishing deal where we're going to have you write with a couple people, and those songs are going to be pitched to McGee or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, or Tame Impala, whoever, something like that. These people do a lot of their own stuff, but they're going to bring you into a structure, and then you're going to collaborate with them, and you're going to get a split of the publishing and a split of sync and whatever it may be, stuff like that. But I would just, honestly, Clayton, for me, I just was doing what I was doing. I was already writing a lot and doing a bunch of stuff. I knew one of the guys, he's like, hey, I like your writing. I'll bring you into the circle. We'll do this song. We got a deal out of it. And it worked out really well, and led to a couple other really cool opportunities for tracking and things like that. I would keep doing what you're doing and really you're already doing this, but like building connections, because that's all the sync is, that's all that publishing is. You got to have connections. You got to just know someone who knows someone, and that person's like, dude, actually, like Clayton's super fire. He would be really cool to write on this XYZ record. Let's bring him in, and next thing you know, you're just in the realm. You get a percentage, and like I said with Austin, do it 1,000 times. But so much of the industry is just who you know. Honestly, so much of it is who you know. So you can create a lot of exposure just by continuing. I mean, you're doing these parties, you're doing these events, you're doing all the right stuff. Just keep putting your feelers out. Like just keep putting yourself out there, and you'll be there, man. No, mine kind of fell. Mine kind of just like Exactly. Like the reason I got this was because the guy knew me. He liked my songwriting and said, "Hey, I want to bring you into this." And so you just have to find your version of that. You got to find your version of that. Because I'm not saying it's easy at all. I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah, it's a lot of politics. It really is.
Attitude a little
Let me close this out. I gotta get going. I'm ranting too much, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm ranting too much. I'm sorry. I gotta run quick.
Go to church on Sundays, so I walk with my sins on Monday. And you look like a bad excuse that I might just want.
I feel like this is a great song to sell, though. It's a really well structured song, honestly.
Used today, and yes, there is a drink in me, and yes, I know I'm very mean, but who the hell compares to me? Yes, who the hell compares to me?
Awesome. Y'all show some love to Austin. Show some love to Austin LaShawn right here in the chat. This song is called Sunday. Yeah, I love your vote. You got great vocal ability. You got an amazing voice, the texture, the character. It's got a great vibe, a great aesthetic. I love everything that you're doing. For me, it's just, I think I'm talking, I guess, more on like the marketing and promotion side, because the quality can always be worked, and you can always improve on the structure of the mix, balance your panning, open it up, make it easy for an artist to get in there. But if you want to be a songwriter, I would put yourself out there as a writer. Of course, like even for me, my main business is engineering and production. I have artistry. I've got 50 songs on platforms. I have a lot of artistry that I've done myself. But what I am building a business more so in is in music production consulting and stuff like that. The services that I offer, consulting with artists and producers and labels and stuff like that. Working as a producer and an engineer as a job, of course. My artistry is kind of back here, right? So most of what you see me market and even talk about is engineering. It's production, because that's what I do. It's what I want to grow grow and stuff like that. And so if what you want to do is songwriting, put that out. You know what I mean? If what you want to do is collaborative writing and stuff like that, instead of posting strictly as an artist, if you want to build a business around making music and artistry and writing, then push that as you market your music and you market stuff like this. Talk about, like, even when you put out a song of yours, what, that 10 years ago? Let's go. It sounds great. I love it. Even if you're promoting a song of yours, you have a press kit back there. I feel that. I feel you. Honestly, that happens a lot. Not having stuff in order. That honestly happens a ton. Even if you're marketing your song, let's say you put out a song and you want to put it on platforms, you want to market it and promote the writing of it. Talk about how you wrote the song, where you at when you wrote it, what it was about, and why you wrote it that way. Start to dive into those things, right? Like when I release a lot of songs, I talk a lot about how I engineered it because that's my business. Stuff like, you know what I mean? I tell, like, when I release a synth track or something, a synthwave track or whatever like that to platforms, I talk about how I produced it because that's my business and stuff like that. So if you want to be a writer and you're releasing stuff to platforms, you want to get exposure for it, promote the song. Hopefully it blows up. Hopefully it goes viral and does all that stuff. But also market the songwriting because that's what you want people to know you for, right? It's the same thing that happened with Phineas a lot too. Like Phineas wrote or co-wrote pretty much all of Billie Eilish's stuff, but he also makes his own music. But people also know him from his songwriting, and so they hire him out for that. He has crazy points with amazing records with so many different artists: Selena Gomez, Sabrina Carpenter, people that are blowing up like crazy. I mean, he wrote, Phineas wrote Lonely by Justin Bieber as well. So like he has like major credits in writing, and he makes his own stuff and people love it for the writing. They love it for the aesthetic. They love it for who he is, but they also love it because they know him as a phenomenal songwriter for all these other artists. And so all of those things blow up for him. So hopefully the same happens for you. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love. I gotta move quick. So let's get into Clayton's track here. Let's dive into it. But massive shout out to Austin. I appreciate what you do. You're a great artist, a great writer, absolutely killing it. All right, let's keep it going. I gotta move quick. We got Clayton, and then we got Katie. We're going to move at a good pace here. Let's dive into it. Let's see. Clayton, you sent this yesterday. And remind me really quick what song it was. I've got Another Angle in Delilah. Is it Delilah or Delilah? And then we're going to close it out. I got to get home. I got to eat. I got to sleep. No. Yeah. Oh, what was that? Where's my piano? Oh, there we go. Let me know. Yeah, at some point. Let me see. I have the two I have. Wait, hold on. These might be farther down. Let me see. Yeah, I have Another Angle and Delilah. Or is it Dahlia? Dahlia? Okay, got you. All right. Two demos. Been holding on to for a minute. And Dahlia, right? Okay, perfect. Dahlia by Clayton. This is a demo. Feels important. I love the sound of that. Let's get into it.
Hey, Dahlia. Who told you love is far away?
Yeah, Dahlia.
Hey, Dahlia. Life isn't such a scary place. Flowers bloom even after a flood, and I will sing you through the rain.
Love that picking pattern. Clayton's a beast. Songwriting's amazing.
There will be days where you cry so many tears you forget to lie, and instead of speaking, you will dance. There will be days full of joy, so much love you forget the noise, and instead of humming, you dance.
Beautiful.
'Cause in the end it's all the same, so why try to fight the rain? We are here, we can stay, you are not alone. Hey, Dahlia.
Yeah.
Who told you love is far away?
Damn.
Hey, Dahlia. Life isn't such a scary place. Flowers bloom even after a flood, and I will sing you days you'll ball your fist, take a shot, but it will kiss the back of your throat and you will dance. Some nights you cannot sleep, we're the same, I can't sleep. Why not throw off the sheets so we can dance? In the end we're all the same, why try to fight the rain? We are here, we can stay, you are not alone. Hey Dahlia,
Come on.
who told you love is far away?
Songwriting is so good, man.
Hey Dahlia, life isn't such a scary place. Hey Dahlia, who told you love is far away? Hey Dahlia, life isn't such a scary place.
Love the whistle.
Flowers bloom even after a flood, and I will sing you through the rain.
The writing's so good, man. Come on, man. That is Clayton right here in the chat. I say this every time. Go follow it along with what Clayton is doing, man. He's doing some amazing stuff. He's doing it at an incredibly high level, man. I love the artistry. I love the structure. You're doing some incredible things, man. Let's get into it, man. This is Dahlia by Clayton. Let's dive in. Let's get into the details. Talk me through really quick what you did, if any, on the instrumentation and the production structure of this. I know sometimes you're working with some friends of yours and people out in Nashville, so just talk me through some of the production structure and things like that. But I love this song. I could hear this on the radio tomorrow, obviously with some polish maybe, but on the radio tomorrow, man. It's such a great song. This is a great placement song where you have this like clean, uplifting structure that's emotional, kind of emotional undertones to it. Beautiful. Come on, let's get into it.
Dahlia. Hey Dahlia.
Is that double supposed to be there? Out of curiosity, just out of curiosity. If it is, that's fine. I'm just so I train my ear for it. Oh, that first picking pattern is my buddy Logan. Beautiful. DT's back in the building. What's up, DT?
Hey Dahlia.
That first the only reason why I even brought it up too is because it feels like a digital stutter feels out of place with the acoustic structure. If you like it stylistically, it's not. I don't think it's something that's like crazy. Okay, I got you. I was like, I didn't think so. I was like, having a digital stutter like that is like very like mid 2000s Nicki Minaj or something. I was like, that doesn't quite fit most of the aesthetic structure of the song. I figured it might not have been on purpose, but I would, get that taken care of on the bounce. You'll be fine. I was like, it's the only time it happened in the song. It's the only time. I was like, it was the only time it happened in the song. I didn't know for sure if it was supposed to be there or not. I kind of figured it wasn't because everything else was smooth in the song and very organic. I was like, hold on 1 second. Let me just run that one more time.
Hey Dahlia.
Yeah.
Who told you love is far away? Hey Dahlia. Life isn't such a scary place.
Love the picking pattern of the guitar. That's beautiful.
Flowers bloom even after a flood, and I will sing you through the rain.
What do you even think about? Or let me listen farther.
There will be days where you cry so many tears you forget to lie, and instead of speaking,
Okay, let me back it up a little bit. Teddy Tunes, what's up?
flowers bloom even after
Listen for
a
something.
flood, and I will sing you through the rain.
I could hear you could do this, however, not necessary to the song structure at all. It could be kind of cool to hear some like vocalizing, ooh, ooh, something that just kind of way in the background, gang vocally ish, kind of parallel to that just kind of floats in the background as like a stack of vocals that just kind of floats with a bunch of reverb and then cut going back into the verse. So like you have a really dry like just dry kick drum, electric guitar, and then your vocal structure, which is beautiful. I love it. And then increase a little bit of energy and floating when you go into the interludes of the song. So there's some kind of vocalization or whatever it may be, or some kind of a string that comes in. Yes, dude. I'm literally I am just watching Gilmore Girls for the first time. We're on our last season, Libby and I. We're on the last season of Gilmore Girls right now. And I'm loving it, man. It's a fun show. It's a fun show. That's so funny you say that, though. But yeah, just a little, just a little vocalizing in the background, and then cut it back to dry. Cut it back to dry going into the next part. So that way it's just the vocal and the guitar and the kick again going into the next section. It'll be super clean. Just little pockets of energy like that.
There will be days where you cry so many tears you forget to lie, and instead of speaking, you will dance.
Yes, I'll be honest, I've only heard negative things about it, but I have to. I have to. I've only heard bad. why does Clayton just have the best vibes? Why does he just have the best? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it, but I haven't heard you can let me know what your thoughts were. No spoilers or anything. But we're mid-season 7 right now. We're mid-season 7, so we still have to watch that. Guys, vibes are immaculate. Literally, it's good. It's good. Okay, I'll go into it with an open mind. I have heard strong opinions both ways. People that hate it and say like, dude, it's not even the same show, and people that love it. So I will go into it with an open mind. I love it. Just hate the end. God. Okay, yeah. I'll go into it with an open mind. If you love Gilmore Girls, well, that's the thing is like I know, you never hear that. Yeah, like I know people that love Gilmore Girls, and that's why they don't like it. If that makes sense, it's like the same people that like loved Game of Thrones, and because they loved Game of Thrones so much, they hated the last season, kind of a thing. Where it's like the last season didn't even feel like the same show. It was so weird and rushed, kind of the same thing. And then if you don't really care about Game of Thrones, you're like, yeah, it was still like a big crazy season. There's dragons and it was fine, right? But if you loved Game of Thrones, the last season sucked because it was rushed and it was weird and none of it made sense, right? I think that's what I've heard with like Gilmore Girls and a lot of other shows too, where it's like it was super, super good. They loved it, and then the last season just didn't feel like it was what they wanted. Anyways, I don't want to get into the weeds with Gilmore Girls, but anyways, I am halfway through season 2. Yeah, several times. Oh yeah. I know. Livy loves it. It's like, yeah, obsessed with it. Love it. So this is my first go around. I like it. It is a good, just like comfort show. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's like one of those things you like put on in the fall, and you know, it's like super comforting. All right, let's get a bit. Okay, enough about Gilmore Girls, and we'll get back into the song.
There will be days full of joy, so much love, you forget the noise, and instead of humming, you dance. 'Cause in the end, it's all the same, so why try to fight the rain?
Yeah.
We are here,
Yeah.
we can...
We'll watch it for sure. I already know. I was like, I'll go into it with an open mind, so I will watch it regardless. I gotta watch it all the way through. But yeah, I have to. This is okay. Yeah, it's just hijack the whole thing. The whole rest of this live is going to be dedicated to the Gilmore universe.
Hey, you are not alone. Hey, Dahlia.
It's so funny.
Who told you love is far away?
If they make like another remake of something, Clayton, you have to be like one of the troubadours or something like that. You got to be at this on the street corner next to the pavilion or something like that. Livy's like, hey, hold on, put me on the live. We gotta talk about this. That would be killer. That'd be sick. I mean, I'll be honest, Clayton. That is such a cult following for that show. I mean, it's great. It's such a cult following for that show. I wouldn't even mind, as cheesy as it sounds, if Logan is such a gangster. Literally. It's so funny. That's so funny that we're talking about this too. I mean, who doesn't want to be just like that's like kind of the bad boy of the show. Yeah, just so funny that we're talking about this. It would be so funny for you to like market yourself like that show, like, you know what I mean, like POV. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like you market better than this anyway, so it's just a bad idea. But like POV, you know, Gilmore Girls comes up with another season, and you're hired to be the troubadour, and you just like take videos of you like playing guitar on the street corner with this song, like lip syncing to the song or like something like that. Like it's just like a video. You could just, I mean, this is the reason I say this. I'm stumbling. The reason I say this is because this is how Russ tapped into Book Talk. Literally, like Russ had no idea what Book Talk was. He made a sexy song, and all of a sudden, he like tapped into the Book Talk market, and like they blew up nasty, like blew up the song like crazy beyond like his wildest dreams. It went so crazy, toured basically off that song, and went absolutely nuts because of tapping into that market. Like you could literally take like all the exposure that you're doing and just start hashtagging Gilmore Girls, start like weeding yourself into that community a little bit with these beautiful, like legitimately great songs that fit this organic, comforting song structure that's acoustic. And then you just like tap into it a little bit, bro. It could literally blow you up just because people that already love your sound and love your aesthetic and love the authenticity of you as an artist will then like attach. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden everyone's tapped in. You know what I'm saying? It's so fun. All right, anyways. Just an idea. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I start seeing like hashtag Gilmore Girls, hashtag whatever underneath everything. I know, that's literally facts. Literally facts.
Life isn't such a scary place. Flowers bloom.
Dude, okay, so get these out, Clayton, as singles. I know you just released your album. Congrats, by the way, man. I need to dive into the whole release thing. Crazy shows, your events are popping, man. You're doing all the right stuff. You might have some other songs like this out. You can let me know. But get this out so that when it's marketed, it's immediate traction, right? So like get it out, and then literally we can drop into these and be like, dude, isn't this song like this is not my song? Isn't the song perfect for Gilmore Girls? It's like such a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like join them, start marketing and stuff like that, but get it out. Get it out that way. Any viral moment that you have, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Even after a flood, I will sing you through the rain. Some days you'll ball your...
Yeah, Libby, you have to I guess like DM it to him maybe. Like maybe send it in a message or something. Maybe send a link, the Reddit link in a message or something. I don't know how easy it is to find.
Fist, take a shot, but it will kiss the back of your throat and you will dance.
But these lyric structures are phenomenal, man. The lyric structures are so easy to listen to. They're so poetic. That is your strength. You have a great voice. You're a great musician. I've heard a lot of okay, it's just the typical I keep saying Gilmore Girls. It's because I'm tired and I can't talk, but I've been talking for 6 hours straight. But all that being said, like your lyric structures are so visual. It's like I can put myself in the situation of the song. It's your superpower, man. You're such a great writer. Such a great writer.
Some nights you cannot sleep. We're the same. I can't sleep. Why not throw off the sheets so we can dance?
And I'll be honest, beyond like maybe some vocalizing, beyond some like layering structure that I think could be polished and maybe added to create a little bit more dynamic range, I really honestly wouldn't touch this production too much. I like the kind of filtered out metallic drums. Everything feels really raw. You know what I mean? Like I like that a lot. I wouldn't touch it too much. Yes.
We're all the same. Why try to fight the rain? We are here. We can stay. You are not alone. Hey Dahlia, who told you love is far away? Hey Dahlia.
What's up, Jeff?
Life isn't such a scary place. Hey Dahlia, who told you love is far away? Hey Dahlia, life isn't...
I want to listen to this little I know the drum structure changes a little bit there. It goes from the 4 on the floor. It goes from the 4 on the floor to just the break beat back into the 4 on the floor again. I'm just like listening if it feels like the energy changes too much there.
Love is far away.
I really do like the percussion structure on here. I hear that little bit of a shift. All of the other elements stay really consistent. So I'm just kind of pointing my brain in that direction to see if it doesn't take any energy away at all.
Hey Dahlia, life isn't...
Because that's all 4 on the floor right there.
Such a scary place.
And there's one note that I would, if you get closer to the mixing side, that I would just literally, I like how raw and open the vocals are. There's one note of the do-do-do-do-do. I think it's the starting note of that run. Na-na-na. What do you? I think when you pop up, let me hear it. Where I would probably just melodine it up. I would probably just take that one note to drop it into place, just because it's the only one that falls out of the key slightly. I will just drop that into place real quick. What's up, Baker?
Hey, Dahlia,
Oh, this is perfect.
life isn't such a scary.
I think it's in the scary game. I think it's on that or scary place. I think it's on scary place. I mean, where there's a little warble in the tuning right there, a little modulation. I mean, I guess this is kind of the benefit. This is kind of the benefit of a fresh set of ears. I don't know any different, right? So this is, I mean, this happens with my own music a lot too. I don't know any different of what could be added and changed in order to make something sound more what you envision it to sound now. What I hear, I like. I think what I hear is easy to listen to. What I hear is very aesthetic. It's very moody. I think it's very, very enticing to listen to. It's one of those songs that could get 1 million streams just because it's not hard to listen to at all. There's nothing abrasive about it. You don't have to work to listen to it. It's very simple, very easy, great melodies, great repetition, right? So what I'm hearing in front of me, outside of maybe filling in the gaps with vocalizing, rebalancing, and polishing, I'm going to listen to this little breakdown here for a second. There's nothing about it I don't like, right? There's nothing about it that I think dramatically needs change. Now, if you want to change some things because you have a different vision for it now, I would run with that. Like, stay authentic to like what your vision is currently for the song, but you got a brand new, fresh set of ears. And if I were hearing this for the first time, I would love it. If I didn't know any better, if I didn't know you want to do some new things or result or anything like that, I would think it sounds great. I think it would be really organic. It's raw. It's a really open vocal structure. This is a good, clean song that's good for placement. It's a song that can have a lot of mileage because it's not really these organic elements aren't going to really go out of style, right? This is always kind of going to be. It's going to sound organic and raw. It's never really going to go out of style. So there's a lot of big benefits to not overdoing it. Oh yeah, I got you. Thank you. There's a lot of benefits to not overdoing a song like this. So if you're asking I mean, of course you are, but like if you're asking my honest opinion, I don't know any different, right? Good amount of the tunes. Do you think it matches? What do you mean? Like with some of your other songs? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. This for me is. Here's what I like about this. I don't know what I would say about it matching, but here's what I do like about it. It's a different side. It's a different side of you. So this is the same reason why, like, I have songs like Poison, and I have songs like I'm Gone, and I have songs like Paper Planes, which is a poppy synthwave love song. You know what I mean? It's one of them's not me and one's whatever. They're different sides of me, right? I love synthwave and pop, and I also love R&B and hip hop and alternative music and acoustic music. And so I, as someone who's just a creative who just likes pulling from the inspiration around me and creating a lot of different stuff, I just kind of create what inspires me. So what I like about this is it still holds true to your vocal, your amazing songwriting, really, really talented songwriter. It still holds true to your like acoustic artistry with these like acoustic style drums, the electric guitar, the gang vocals in the background, and some of the layering. So this to me still sounds like a Clayton record, but it shows a different vulnerability to your vocal and a different vulnerability to the more like loving part of your song structure, right? You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit more endearing, you know what I mean? And so I think I like it a lot, honestly. I like it a lot where it's like, yeah, you can have these really impactful, very alternative song structures. And then you can have something like this that's a very low barrier to entry into your music where a lot of people, I think you might be a little bit, just because I think this is a great, and just for me, like I have a lot of songs that have done really well that are barriers to people coming in, right? Like they're not really, I say very well loosely, even just like I'm Gone. That's like the reason why that song did well. It's not like it's all of the music that I make, but it's just a super easy listen. It's just a super, super easy listen. It's like the barrier to liking it is very low. I think it's good to have some songs like that because there's nothing like abrasive about it. It's not super harsh and loud and stuff like that. And I love some good harsh and loud songs and stuff like that. But for me, it's like having some songs that are a really low barrier to people liking it is a healthy thing to have as an artist. You want everything. You want them to come in and then you want them to hear the serial killer song and love that one too. But this might be your I guess like the song that as many people as possible will like, right? This song could be in a show, it could be in a movie, it could go viral on TikTok, it could be just a song that does very, very well in your own catalog that might introduce people to your vocal because it's a very easy song to like, an easy song to get into. It's like really endearing lyric structure that I appreciate a lot. I think it's very, very well written that might introduce people to all of the other really more like poetic loose structures that you have that are maybe more dynamic and more impactful, more grungy, right? So I think it's important, and not only do I think it's a good idea to hang on to the song, I think it's important to have a song like this or a couple songs like this as you continue with your artistry that introduce people to your vocal that maybe has a different perspective on it, right? And then if they want to get into the more intense grungy stuff that you have that maybe feels more like it's your lane, it's more of the kind of crazy dynamic range that you love that's really intriguing and interesting, then they can go and they can like that or not like it. But it's a good way to bring people into your catalog. In the same way, I mean, like Nick D's another example of this. Like he can rap decently, but that's not the stuff that did well for him. He has some songs now that have blown up that have, rap and stuff in them, but the stuff that started popping off for him was like cheesy pop songs. You know what I mean? Like that introduced as many people as possible to his realm. It got him crazy deals, got him hundreds of millions of streams, got him millions of dollars, and allowed him to do all of the other stuff that he likes really easily. Now he just makes all the songs. He makes some rap songs, makes some country songs, makes some whatever songs. You can kind of do the same thing. Find creative ways to introduce people to your sound. If that's like a more simple alternative love song, like something like this, I love it, dude. I'm all for it because it's still your identity. It's still your poetic songwriting. It's still your voice, but it's a simple structure in a way that it's going to introduce a lot of people to your voice. And hopefully that feeds into the styles that maybe you appreciate more, that more modernly feel like your style and your aesthetic. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I just know you need a couple of these. You need a couple songs like this. I like it, honestly. I like it a lot. I think you crushed it.
Life isn't such a scary place. Hey Dahlia, who told you love is far away? Hey Dahlia.
So right there at 225, only little part of the structure that I would just revisit. The 4 on the floor leaves, the kick right there, the hollow 4 on the floor leaves just for that pocket, and then comes back in again. Your vocal changes texture a little bit there. I do feel like the drums just lose a little bit of energy. Strictly just my perspective on it. I would keep the 4 on the floor in there so that the drums keep the same structure and it doesn't lose any energy when you shift to that falsetto. Literally the only like comment on the production side, I would really make some, like have some of those oohs and ahs and vocalizing and stuff like that. And then I would maybe bring back in the 4 on the floor just because I feel like it helps drive the song towards the end of the song. And I do think that if you lose the 4 on the floor and shift to a falsetto, it'll just feel a little bit weaker at the very climax of the song. And I would keep it a little bit more consistent. And that's just, you don't have to do that. It's just my perspective. What's up, Stakes?
Life isn't such a scary place. Hey Dahlia, who told you love is far away?
It's just right here, 2:30, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right here, shift.
Hey Dahlia, life isn't such a scary place.
Love the whistle.
Flowers bloom even after a flood, and I will sing you through the rain.
Such a cool structure, man. Y'all give it up one time for Clayton. Give it up one time for Clayton, man. Clayton is the family man. Show some love. Go stream these songs. He's got a whole album out now. Go follow him on Spotify. Go follow what he's doing here on TikTok, of course, as well, and all platforms that you happen to be engaged with. Show some love and support, man. He's doing some really, really cool stuff, man. Phenomenal songwriter, really, really talented artist and vocalist, man. Service list. I'm gonna whistle. I know I don't have that. Libby's got the whistle. Libby's got the whistle. She can make that happen. Think about it. Let's go. Mad love to Clayton, man. Mad love to Clayton. So here it is, man. Shout out to Clayton, man. Appreciate you so much. And Clayton, just you already know, but you still have your other song. You still have your other song for the next chance here. We'll be live tomorrow too. Next chance you're able to hop in. Come in, man. And I got the 20 set for you already, man. Show some love to Clayton, man. Let's keep it going. I gotta get home. We gotta close it out. All love, man. All love, man. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's close it out, man. We got Katie in the building. KDB is going to close us out right now. Let's run it out. You too, man. Absolutely, absolutely, man. I love what you're doing, man. Seriously, it's super inspiring for me because I'm working so much in the background on a lot of projects. Seeing what you do and what you push for is super inspiring, man. So massive shout out, man. All love to Clayton. All right, y'all, let's close it out. Let's close it out. Let's close it out. Let's get into it. This is KDB. This song is out on Spotify, so let's run it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, and let's close it out right here. This is Windward Way. Am I saying that correctly, or Windward Way? I want to make sure that I get it right. Let me like the track. Let me make sure that I follow you on here. Boom. All right. Let's dive in. I'm super excited to get into this. Yeah, you mentioned some things earlier during the other songs. Remind me, okay, perfect. Windward Way, and this is by Justin, and it's is it featuring you? Is it mainly Justin's song, and then it's featuring you? Lifted, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Or is it your song as well? Remind me really quick. I know you said you're a songwriter in Nashville. Any role that you played in the production? Anything you know about the mix or anything that may know? If not, doesn't matter at all. Co-write, beautiful, perfect. Yeah, any details, extra details? I love content, as you probably know now. I love context. I love details. It helps us kind of dig into the breakdown a little bit more. But this is Windward Way, and then KDB is who we're listening for here. Let's get into it. I love the fabric muted acoustic. I know that tone.
Took a trip to Montreal.
Perfect. Awesome.
Wanted to see the leaves change. Dove right in
This is your vocal?
memory lane, but the colors have faded away.
Beautiful.
How's your mom and dad been doing? Saw your niece when you grew up.
Great voice.
She graduated college and moving with honors and work.
And we're closing out with some really, really good stuff.
The park was cold and underslept.
This is Justin, I'm assuming.
Black coffee burning my throat. I sat and watched the strangers fill familiar place with laughter and cigarette smoke. Found the lamp we made out underneath.
Beautiful.
While my friends left to buy some weed. Now the public pool is full of leaves. And those days are just daydreams.
Seasons change.
Thank you for the help, Caddy. Appreciate you.
Symphony. Wind is whipping through the streets.
I'm assuming you tracked in studio, right?
Such a hold on me, 'cause it's what I thought I'd always need.
Sounds great. Love the strings.
September's come and gone. My coffee is cold again. The places we could have gone
Come on.
aren't the same as they could have been. Aren't the
Amazing structure. Really, really well done. This is beautiful. Yeah, Caddy, exactly. Y'all, show some love. We're finishing off with some great music here, and honestly, a cool a cool like synergy of stylistic choices in the last couple songs here. I'll show some love, man. Show some love to Katie B. Katie, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's get into it. Let's dive in. This is Windward Way. Windward Way. By Katie Burkhart, I'm assuming is how you say it. Y'all show some love. Make sure that you are following on Spotify. Of course, I made sure to follow you on there, like the track, all that good stuff. Follow on Spotify, like the track, add it to your playlist. Of course, stream it. That's what helps. Stream the song, all that good stuff. And don't forget to follow here on TikTok and all these other platforms as well to show some love and support to every artist that gets on the stage. Let's dive into it. This is a beautiful record. You can tell. This is why I asked about a studio and stuff like that too. You can just tell. And I think it's what everyone aims for, right? This is kind of the North Star of most people, even if you're an underground artist, even if you are an independent artist recording in your bedroom and stuff like that. Tonally and environmentally, you're looking for this professional sound, right? Unless you're not, right? It just depends. But, the goal, the North Star is to have this really polished feel to your music that really takes away the work of listening to it, right? It's smooth. There's nothing muddy or boomy or harsh or abrasive or aggressive or anything like that. It's an easy to listen song. And this is the same if it's like a metal song or if it's like a smooth pop record or something a bit more alternative or indie or folk. And so having this really easy listen is so important and something that just feels very, very enticing to listen to. But this is the reason why I asked if it was a studio is it's a very warm and saturated and open. So when you're listening to the vocals, it's perceived as bright, I guess, but it's a very like mellow, warm tone to the vocal that just sounds gorgeous. It's easy to listen to. Nothing's abrasive. There's no harsh sibilance or, harsh resonance at all. Everything's very smooth and really open. So I love it. I got nothing negative at all to say. It's very, very nicely done. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. It's beautiful. Let's dive into it. Really well done. Yeah, I like it. Super smooth. I'll draw attention to some things as we go, but this is very, very well done. It's a great example of a good double track of guitar. So you obviously start out. This is usually the way you get, there's different ways to get the sound, but usually how you get this sound is you tie fabric around the neck by the head of the acoustic guitar. You just tie a little bit of fabric around there and it gives you this natural mute so you can open pick and open strum, and it has this kind of felty muted feel to it. I love that tone. Sounds fantastic. We made a mock rubber bridge for the intro guitar with a tennis racket tool. Let's go. See, I love it. I love little things like that. Yeah. So there's different ways to get that tone and different ways to get that sound. I love that. I think that's super, super cool. I love being intuitive or, what would you call it? Like intentional with stuff like that too. Ingenuitive, let's get into it. But I love that feel. That mute is so cool. I love it. But this is also a good example of a good double track too. So this initial guitar comes in biased to the left. Inventive, that's what I'm looking for. Biased to the left by like 40%, 30-40% to this way, and then you hear all these other guitars swell into the mix. It makes it feel super open, super, super open. I think inventive is what I'm thinking of. I can't think. It's too late. It's like almost midnight. Gotta rest. But that double track is beautiful. Opens up the mix beautifully. Creates a great contrast.
Took a trip to Montreal. Wanted to see the leaves change.
How warm and open the vocal is. It's very, very well saturated. You might not happen to know what vocal mic that you used. My intuition is one of two things. Either it's just saturated very, very well in your vocal chain, or you're using a really, really nice tube microphone that gives this one. It's one of the reasons why I like the mic that I have, a tube mic that I'm tracking vocals with now. And it's such a beautiful, warm, saturated tone. It sounds so smooth to listen to. So smooth to listen to. It sounds awesome.
Dove right into memory lane, but the colors are faded away. How's your mom and dad been doing? Saw your niece when and grew up. She graduated college and moving with honors
I sat and watched the strangers fill familiar.
Yeah, you can immediately hear both of y'all's vocals, I would assume, are tracked really close just because of the proximity effect. You get so much of like, when this is like right up close, you get so much more low end on the microphone, so much more like energy and texture around the vocal. I love it. It's a good, it says like, this is what Billie Eilish did a lot too, where she would even actually use a pop filter. She would just hold the mic and you get really close. Do, 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 do. There's so much more low end presence. If I yell, I'll just start clipping, but there's so much more low end presence when you're close like this. You get all of this tone, you get all of the character of the vocal, as opposed to when I back off the mic, just because of the proximity effect. It's a little bit, this is typically where someone would record 8 to 10 inches away, and you just open up the vocal a little bit more, you get a little bit more high end, and you lose some of that low end proximity effect. But it's a great texture to have for really vulnerable, intimate music like this. You hear it a lot in folk, a lot in indie, and in some like alternative pop, like some of like Billie Eilish's work and stuff like that. But you get a really, really different tone getting in close to the microphone as you do, like completely different frequency response depending on where you're at, and it's used very well in this track.
Laughter, cigarette smoke.
Nice. Yeah, it works. It works.
Found the lamp we made out underneath.
Because you can hear that body in his vocal too. What's up, retrack? Which you can tell just closed. And just by default of being a lot tighter to the microphone, naturally you'll get more like ASMR, like more mouth noises and little things like that. And then you can only mitigate so much. If it's not too bad, I'll leave it in there. If it's like crazy, if someone's like super dehydrated or something like that, I'll take some of those noises out. But this is a good example of you hear some of it just because of proximity to the microphone, but it's not necessarily overwhelming in the mix at all. Not in a way that you need to like cut it all out.
While my friends left to buy some weed, now the public pool is full of leaves, and those days are just daydreams.
Seasons change like a symphony.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Wind is whipping through the streets.
This place has such a hold on me, 'cause it's what I thought I'd always need.
The swelling of the background vocals are, great reverberation. The stacks of vocals are beautiful because you get both of your vocals stacking right there. Beautiful stacks of harmonies and like doubled melodies right there. Absolutely gorgeous. And then just cuts through a little bit more because of the strings. The strings like give it this sharpness that your vocals are both very soft and open, very airy. There's a ton of reverb on them, which is beautiful in the mix. It's really, really nice. Just cutting through that with a string too, because it gives it this sharpness that just slices right through all of it. Beautiful tone. Just the structure of this production is gorgeous. Very, very well done. Or we had a measure between the next verse. Do you like it better going right into the verse? Going into verse 2, let me hear it again.
We made out under
So you're talking about going into his verse? Let me hear it. Because that has a whole like 4 bars there, right? Oh, sorry. The third. Okay, I was like, that has 4 bars. Let me hear it again. Sorry.
Is whipping.
All right, let me hear it again. Again, just hearing that sharpness from the strings. Sings. I love it.
My coffee's cold.
I think I like it direct. That feels the most cohesive. Yeah, direct is just tighter. It's like, and you know this as a songwriter, like anytime that I'm doing collaborative writing or we're like talking through song structure and stuff there, and even building up production elements, we're always talking about cutting the fat, right? Like sometimes space gives the lyrics more emphasis. Sometimes it allows a little bit more weight and stuff like that. Sometimes you just got to cut the fat and get into the song structure a little bit more. I like it going direct. In my opinion, I think direct, I could hear, yeah, it overlaps a little bit there, but I do think it just makes the song sharper, like it's not that it's a big deal, but then it pushes you into 3.5 minutes instead of 3:19. You start to lengthen out some of the structure of the song and it can start to open up a little bit more. which I think has its benefits. You know, even live, you could do that. Like that's one a good example of like good translation from studio to live. You could perform this live and get a little bit more space for people to sit in the lyrics a little bit more and understand it. But on a radio record like this, or like a record that's already out and established well, I do like that it goes a little bit faster. I don't think it would sound bad if it was held. I don't. I don't think if I heard it held, I don't know if I'd be like, that could be faster. But I do think hearing it fast, it's so much more grounded. It just, the song moves, it flows. There is some great openness to the songwriting and the song structure. You have some interludes with these vocal fillers. There's interludes early on, but to me, it doesn't lose any energy because the song can, even with interludes, the song continues to go on. Now, if you had a longer intro and then you had an interlude between the first verses and then you had the bigger interlude with the strings and then you paused for longer, the song could maybe start to feel like it drags on a little bit, potentially. But I like the structure now, honestly. I feel like I like it going direct because it just cuts the fat. It keeps you moving into the song with plenty of energy while still giving the vocals some space. Let me hear it one more time.
September's coming gone.
Yeah, because it hits right away.
My coffee's cold again.
Yeah.
The places we could
Going crazy. Yeah, we're about to hop off. About to hop off.
aren't the same as they could have been.
You get this beautiful dynamic range. Like, come on, it's so good. Katie, you're awesome. You have an amazing voice. The songwriting on this is beautiful. It's brilliant. It's very, very well done. It's just a polished record. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I love the dynamic range of this track. Going back into the interlude again, I think is beautiful. And I think you said Austin. Austin did the production on this. Killed it on the production. This is like live instrumentation. These are real instruments across the board. Maybe some BST in there, but the real instrument. I mean, hearing real drums, hearing like a real upright piano and stuff like that. Might be some BSTs in there, but most of it seems like it's real tracked instrumentation. It sounds beautiful. It's very, very well established.
Aren't the same as they could have been.
Hey, appreciate you, DT. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's awesome. And you get the live texture of like the crickets in the background. Like there's something so organic about the sound design in this too that I absolutely love. It's great. Like I said, great translation from studio to live. This is going to be I really, really hope it's going to be a great song for you. Y'all show some love. This song. Let me, maybe I cut it too early. Let me see. Wait, did I miss it? Wait, where's the yell? Wait, right after the high note. Okay, hold on. I want to hear it. Real quick, and then we'll close it up. Is it that woo? Like, all right, that it's like I feel like that really high note right there. It's like a woo, like kind of way if that's what I'm hearing right before that. Yeah, I like that. So there's a method of tracking that I do when I'm tracking vocals in studio and stuff that I do. What it allows to is that when I'm tracking, it's always recording, always. DT with the confetti, bro. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Or the blooming ribbons. That was even crazier, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you, bro. Where the track's always recording 100% of the time, right? So you could be talking in the microphone and just in between takes, and I'll like have the music stopped and stuff like that, and then I'll replay some other tracks and drag it down. But what it allows is for moments like that to happen, where you might, just as an example, you might have tracked that vocal 8 times. You comped it in, you tracked it 8 different times, and you're selecting sections of it, but there was a track that was always recording. So you can just take these cool moments in the song where you say something interesting, you vocalize in an interesting way. Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Exactly, dude. It works so well. It works so well. Man, shout out to DT, man. Shout out to DT. Let me get that saved for you too, man. I saw the gold for a moment, and I don't even know if I've ever seen the blooming ribbons. What in the world? Let me get that. Let me see if I have anything for you already. Real quick, man. Shout out to DT, man. Thank you for the love, bro. Thank you for the love. Okay, I got you right here, man. You know, I gotta get you, whether you like it or not. I gotta get you five for that, man. Thank you for the love, man. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, but those candid moments for me, they can add so much life and texture. Of course. Let me run out the last 20 seconds here. Of course. And then the closer. Y'all, shout some love to KDB. If you like what you're hearing, this song is out on all platforms. It is out everywhere. Go stream it. Go add it to your playlist. Go follow Katie over there. Of course, follow Katie here. Welcome to the family. So glad we got that song into. Beautifully done. What an amazing way to close out the night. Brilliantly written. Great song structure. Great talent across the board. Hey, DT, that's love, man. That's love. Either way, you got it saved. That way we can bless someone else coming in, man. We can bless someone else coming in. Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to all of y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging in there on these late nights as well. We're Libby and I are building a ton. So just as a quick reminder, if y'all are ever interested in services, whether that is production services, mix services, we do consultations as well. So kind of this, y'all get a 20-minute consultation structure on the live here. If you're ever interested in going an hour, 2 hours, or a package of sessions, so once a week we check in, we talk about the way you structure your music, your mixes, production, songwriting, things like that. If you want some long-form consultations, we offer that as well. So definitely shoot me a message and we'll get you going in the right direction. Just also as a quick reminder before we close things up, we are live right now over on Twitch. We're live on YouTube as well. So make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channels. Make sure you are following on Twitch so we can build up those platforms and offer some additional value over there as well. Of course, make sure you're following over here. We are almost to 6K. Let's see if we can get to 6K before it gets banned. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see if we can get up to 6K and hopefully we stick around. But I love y'all. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being vulnerable with your creative expression. Thank you for being vulnerable with your craft and being so incredibly generous with your time as well. I love y'all so much. We love y'all to death. Y'all are amazing. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night. Peace.